An inauguration ceremony for the newly elected president of Botswana.
The national anthem of Botswana on a day when the country's democracy was celebrated. Trotting white horses accompanied the new president, Duma Boko, on a lap of the stadium. He then spoke of unity. When some in the crowd booed his predecessor, Mokwitsi Masisi, President Boko urged them to give him some love for showing statesmanship by handing over power. It could be seen as a message for the region. In neighbouring Zimbabwe, opposing the government often comes with a violent response, and there's instability in Mozambique following allegations of a rigged election.
The BBC's Will Ross. A typhoon that battered the northern Philippines with floods and landslides has moved away from the country. The storm left 2 airports damaged and aggravated the disaster caused by back-to-back storms that hit in recent weeks. The typhoon now forecast to strike Vietnam, although it is expected to weaken by the time it reaches that country. News and analysis, townhall.com. Well, they're hunting for a bunch of fugitives in coastal South Carolina.
43 monkeys have escaped from a compound used for medical research in Yemassee, South Carolina. They're rhesus macaques, all females weighing about 7 pounds, and so young and small they haven't been used for testing yet. Police Chief Gregory Alexander says they present almost no danger to the public, not infected with any disease, but perhaps a little skittish. In an interview with WCIV, Yemassee Town Administrator Matthew Garnes advises Low Country locals,
do not approach them, do not try to feed them, do not try to take one as a pet, but just remain where you are inside, somewhere safe, and just contact 911. Advise them of your location.
I'm Ben Thomas.
Not sure if they rounded up all of the llamas that got away in Provo, Utah the other day, 5 of them managing to escape from their owner. They were spotted wandering along railroad tracks, maybe hoping to catch a train to make good their getaway. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Friday, everybody. We made it.
Yep. Not a sunny one.
No, but the sun will come out.
And it's supposed to get warmer today.
A little bit.
A slight bit warmer.
Like 53.
That's warmer.
Yeah.
We were 39 all day yesterday.
Yeah, it was Chile.
There was a little moment right at the end of the day, right at the end, where the sun came out. It was because it was so low in the sky that it was poking through the clouds a little bit. That was a tease, man. We had it for 20 minutes. Just enough time for me to put some gas in my car. And by the time I got home, it was back to just dreary again.
Then there was your little blessing for the day.
There you go.
The seas parted for a minute.
Right.
But, then we got some more. I don't know. Because we have the flooding and everything, but we're a pray for rain community.
No,
here.
100%.
So
I agree.
I think this, I hope this didn't impact the people who were already with flooding issues,
right.
But I feel like this was a very beneficial rain.
And I understand there's a lot of PTSD when it comes to the storm. Like some of my friends I've talked to, every time they see a little clouds in the sky now, they start getting a little freaked out.
Yeah,
and that's understandable. But the problem with that rain, obviously, is that it came all at once and then it just went away.
Sure.
Within a week, we were dry as a bone and dust was blowing everywhere. This sustained rain is exactly what we needed.
Hopefully. Now, I'm not a farmer or anything.
Well, I am. I
so
professionally get up before the sun, so that makes me a farmer at heart.
There you go, farmer at heart. Farmer adjacent.
Right, I'm farmer adjacent.
but because I know sometimes it's like, well, depending on the season, we don't want rain right now because that's when the crops,
Right.
So I'm hoping this was, but I just assume we always are happy with rain. So I'm gonna say this was a good rain for the last 24 hours or so.
It was a great rain. I wish that we could now everybody always says this is why you wouldn't be good in Seattle. See, I think I'd be fine. I like cloudy weather.
Yeah.
I like rainy weather when it's 70 out.
Yeah.
That's fine. When it's rainy weather and there's a 44-inch snowstorm up, 3 hours north of us.
Yeah. People that say you would handle Seattle, or I'd love to be in Seattle. This is all the statements of people that don't get things on a regular.
Yeah.
That they go and this is, I grew up in Maryland. Okay. We had all the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to moving to Mexico, I never thought or cared about rain in any sort of benefit.
Because it was just there.
It was just, it's a rainy day. Oh, great. Wear my boots. Or, oh, great. Wear my muckalucks or whatever, wear my, oh, it's cold today. We really had everything. So if you grew up or live in a world where you'd be, people in Seattle, they're probably, that's just what they do. It's the same thing as here. And yeah, you'd live up there, but after a while, you'd probably get tired of rain and be like, man, I want to go back to sunny New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And vice versa. Seattle's probably like, all this sun, I kind of like a nice.
And this is why people have vacation homes, I know.
Yeah.
But I have spent most of my life in a place that actually has a sound effect associated with it. I'm trying to find this sound. I'm trying to find a video of the sound effect right now, but it's the vibra slap.
Ah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Whenever you look at New Mexico, that's what you think. It's barren, it's dry, it's hot.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, you get used to it and you get accustomed to it or whatever. But I grew up in Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Same or similar situation where we had weather.
Mm-hmm.
We had sometimes sunny days, sometimes rainy days. And it was just, that's like the phrase save it for a rainy day doesn't really work around here because
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh, save all your money for 2 weeks out of the year.
Well, in some places, like saving it till Thursday.
Yeah, basically. It works there. It doesn't really work here.
Yeah, but today's the day of no matter what you like, you're going to get some of it. If you like rain and stuff, you're getting it right now. But by this afternoon, the sun should be coming out, and we'll warm up a tad to the 50s. Winds will still be like 10 to 15. So just, when you're in the 50s, you notice the 10 to 15 much more than you do in the 80s and 90s. But yeah. But good news, tomorrow is going to be in the 60s. We'll be mid-60s tomorrow, 64. Sunday, 68.
Yeah.
And then Veterans Day, I think we're hitting 70. Let me double-check that. Yeah, Veterans Day, 69 now. They were saying 70 yesterday, now 69. So, yeah. So, yeah, about afternoon, this afternoon, it'll be getting to something where you like a little bit.
We're getting close.
Yeah. But, I do want to, first off, thank everyone for well wishes and things. Our boss, Gene, he's, of course, I'd mentioned he had a medical episode about 2 weeks now here. And he actually posted an update on our KSVP sister station Facebook page. I did share it over to our talk page there. If you like, he just kind of gave an update on his medical status. And we're all glad to see he's doing better as he's progressing here. So I just want to put that update for folks that if you're curious or been wanting an update, I shared it up there.
I did enjoy one of the videos that we got yesterday, we saw it yesterday, was a video of Gene doing some of his rehab.
Yeah, I saw it the day before. I think you saw it yesterday. Yeah.
And it's basically him on a treadmill. He's got a walking assistant. It looks like some robotic legs, essentially.
Yeah.
And I love that it was married to the $6 Million Man theme song. That was fantastic. We can rebuild him. We have the technology.
The only thing I would have, editor's note to his video.
I know exactly what you're going to say, too.
When he gets to the part where the music speeds up, they need to speed up the actual video.
I was
where he's kind of matching
what the music. They need to do is right at the end of the song, add in the yeah.
But I was thinking about where the part where it goes and it picks up, because that's kind of how it goes in the the show's video with the intro of the show. But I just thought where Gene was kind of where he was. But if they just speed up that video right at that part where then
now what I want to see is I want to see a picture of Gene slowly lifting a picture of old Gene smiling, while the narrator says as he works to control the beast from within, with the old Incredible Hulk theme.
Yeah. Ooh, now we're getting all in the 70s.
Yeah.
Well. Now we're doing all this. We got to put him in a red suit and fly him around and come, believe it or not.
How could this happen to me? I can't believe it myself.
Have him clumsily land at various places as he flies.
One day my name was just Gene. Now I'm somebody else.
I wonder what happened to that actor. Is he still with us?
I don't know.
I don't even remember his name.
He was the greatest American hero.
Yeah, what happened to that man? But
that's all we ever needed to know.
While Sean is Googling that, let me give you the rundown for today's show. Real quick, though, I do want to remind folks, we do have high school football for you tomorrow afternoon. Roswell Coyotes, they are a 1 seed in the football playoffs here, so they are on a bye this weekend, as is the Artesia Bulldogs. They are a 2 seed. The Goddard Rockets are in the football playoffs as a 10 seed, so they'll have a matchup tomorrow in Lovington, who is the 7th seed. We will have that game for you right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM tomorrow for the radio portion. Normally it's on 106.1 Fiero. For Goddard football tomorrow, we will have it right here on 106.5. So tell your friends and family that are going to be listening on the radio. We also procured the rights to stream the video of said broadcast. So we will have video streaming of the playoff game at ksvptv.com and the Goddard Rocket channel. Kickoff tomorrow is at 1 o'clock. We'll start pregame roughly 12:40ish or so there. So, all right.
Sir.
Did you look up the greatest American?
Well,
is he with us?
Believe it or not, his name's William Catt, and I can say that he's still breathing.
Yes.
Yeah, he's 71 years old. He is still alive, still with us.
William
Young
Catt. 71.
I know. He looks like a young cat, too. But yeah, no, still with us. So
nice. Now in my head, I want to see a picture of him and Gabe Kaplan and maybe a couple other stars playing poker. Welcome back, Carter. Greatest American hero. I don't know.
Where did I saw something with the guy from Welcome Back, Kotter the other day. He just, I think it was on Fallon.
Yeah?
Like he just showed up to do
Gabe Kaplan?
Yeah, just like a walk on a Q&A thing.
Well, he was in his heyday when he was more of a household name. He used to do the remember when the Circus of the Stars, we've talked about this before. He was a very prominent person in those Circus of the Stars stuff. If I remember right, he's a poker player now. Or I don't know about now, but there was a time in the 90s and 2000s where he was kind of doing those
World Series of poker.
Yeah, those kind of deals. Yeah, he was involved with a lot of that too.
He's a man with a pair of shiny glasses.
Yeah, so that's the latest I know on Gabe Kaplan. I don't know what since then or not. But in my head, I want to see it. I want to see Greatest American Hero, Gabe Kaplan, just playing like poker,
Maybe instead of bringing back Circus of the Stars, because who does the circus anymore? Maybe Casino of the Stars.
Casino. Well, yeah, they did do celebrity. That was a thing for a minute. Celebrity,
Well, I know Celebrity Poker was.
Yeah,
but I'm talking about the whole casino. Have what's his name? Doggone it! The guy just left my head. Teller. To have Teller over there leading the Keno board,
Yeah.
Penn can run craps. Roy was the one that got taken out. So have Siegfried up on the main stage, obviously running entertainment.
Are they still?
Well, no, Roy's shot.
I thought we lost them both.
I think Siegfried's still with us.
I thought the other one passed just recently.
Maybe.
I thought we lost them both, but maybe I'm wrong.
Carrot Top will do. Yes, yeah. Carrot Top's running the Guess Which Hand booth.
And can I offer an alternative? Popular, but maybe not one that normally people would think. I would like to offer a position for one Donny Osmond.
Oh, you know what? He's right there in the area.
Well, he does a lot of Vegas.
He's got to be available. Oh, you're absolutely right. He died in 2020.
That's
Ray Horn. That's Ray Horn.
Okay.
That's Ray Horn.
Okay, I thought we lost them both. I thought we lost one during COVID.
I believe Siegfried might still be with us.
Okay, good. I thought we lost them both.
Okay, so they were cremated. They were both cremated together. So I'm guessing he died first.
I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna go on a limb.
If not, that is one hell of an ironclad will.
Yeah, because I thought we lost one during COVID. Like I thought the one that
Ray Horn died in 2020.
that was the one.
He's
mauled
the one
by
that got
tiger.
tiger. Yeah, got
but
tigered.
I thought the other one had passed during COVID.
I'm sorry.
I know
I'm
it's
sorry.
very, but it's the way brains remember things. You know, we ain't gonna do it. But yeah. So okay. Anyway,
You know what's crazy is I still remember the name of the tiger that attacked him.
really.
Montecore.
Ooh,
Yeah.
cool.
Montecore. It was his lieutenant tiger, his like head tiger.
I feel like that's also the name of some villain in some cartoon series.
I think it's from Moby Dick. Honestly,
Is it? Okay,
I think.
maybe that's
I don't know.
what it is. I think it's from them G.I. Joes.
If you ever want to sound smart at a party, if you don't know the origin of something, just say you think it's from Moby Dick.
Right. Just put
Well, that's where we got Tillicum.
That's right.
I mean, you know.
I believe that's the Ron Burgundy school of education.
I believe it was from To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh, man. All right, let me give you the rundown for today's show. There was a time. No. We're going to replay an interview this hour. Don Weld, wearing his Friends of Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge hat, joined us on Wednesday to talk about Cranes and Cocoa, which is this Saturday afternoon out at Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge. So we got a busy Saturday. We got the Veterans Day celebration there in the morning, and of course, Cranes and Cocoa out at Bitter Lake on the afternoon. So we're going to play that interview, telling everybody about come on out to Bitter Lake on Saturday. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, Sheriff Mike Harrington, or might be someone else from the Sheriff's Department, but Mike said he'd be here, I think. So, but anyway, we'll have Sheriff or Sheriff's deputies, or their representatives thereof, from the Chaves County Sheriff's Department join us, and we'll get an update from them. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, I'm going to replay my interview I had with the folks from FEMA yesterday. They joined us in the 7 o'clock hour on the phone to talk about they're in town, they're going door to door. They're hoping to set up a place where people can go to seek FEMA resources. It's as of the time of this interview we had yesterday morning, it was at the Roswell Malls where they're looking to set that up, and they're hoping to have it ready this weekend. As soon as I get more updates on that, I will let you know, but that's kind of the updates we have during that interview there. So, but anyway, we're going to play that interview for you in the 9 o'clock hour. Let's see. Plus, we'll have all of your features that include the newses of the local, national, variety, Wall Street business updates, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. Before we do any of that, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather. Like we said, rain's going away, sun's coming out, warming up a little bit, and getting a little nicer.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your Pecos Valley weather. Still dealing with a storm system across our area. Cloudy conditions for Roswell tonight with still the chance for some rain showers, but rapid clearing coming in Friday. Overnight low near 40 and our Friday high ranging from the low to mid 50s. Shot at showers and thunderstorms for tonight for the Carlsbad and Artesia areas with overnight lows low 40s. That increasing sunshine as our Friday goes on. Highs range for the mid to upper 50s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore.
Thank you, Jennifer. I think that's not updating again. I'll have to look into that. But currently 41 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 86%. Winds currently out of the northwest at 10 miles per hour. I'll get to that in a minute. Let me get to today first. 40% chance for some more rain this morning. They said this should all taper off about 11 o'clock. Mostly cloudy this morning, gradually becoming sunny with a high of 53 today. Northwest winds at around 10 to 15 miles per hour. Now, tonight we are in a freeze warning. That's going to kick in at 11 p.m., remaining in effect through 8 a.m. That's because our overnight low is going to be 30, so we are expecting our freeze, I guess our first official freeze for this winter or this fall season. But we are looking at tonight, mostly clear skies with an overnight low of 30. Winds will be out of the west at around 5 miles per hour. For Saturday, warming up a little nicer, sunny, 64 for a high tomorrow. Winds will be out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. So if you're heading out to Lovington, their temps will be roughly around the same. So light jacket should be a good afternoon to watch some football out there in Lovington. Skies will be clear for tomorrow night. Expect an overnight low of 35 degrees with north winds at around 5 miles per hour. Sunday, sunny skies and a high of 68. Winds will be calm. Sunday night, clear skies with an overnight low of 38 degrees. And then for Veterans Day on Monday, sunny skies, a high of 69. And it looks like we're going to be mid-70s Tuesday, right around 70 Wednesday, upper 60s Thursday. So a little warmer and no talk of rain, just sun. And actually, I'm thinking next week's going to shape up to be a pretty nice week overall. All right, 7:23, we're going to take a 3-minute break. Then we're going to play our interview we had with Don Weld from Friends of Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge, talking about cranes and cocoa. That's up next.
Join Roswell Nissan and VFW Post 12184 for a Veterans Day celebration this Saturday from 10:30 till 2. Enjoy free burgers, drinks, and hot dogs as we show our appreciation to veterans, first responders, and law enforcement. Everyone is welcome, especially all Crumlin Auto Group employees, with an award ceremony at 2 p.m. honoring outstanding veterans and first responders. See you at the Crumlin Auto Group and VFW Post 12184 Veterans Day celebration this Saturday from 10:30 till 2 at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, crawl around up there and try to spot the problem until... Or you could call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. Let Do Right do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
Artesia General Hospital has welcomed cardiologist Luther Weathers to the team. Dr. Weathers is board certified with a subspecialty in cardiovascular diseases. He treats patients with genetic heart defects, heart rhythm disorders, heart failure, coronary artery disease, chronic high blood pressure, and other cardiovascular diseases. Call 575-736-8270 to schedule your visit with Dr. Weathers in Artesia or visit artesiageneral.com/cardio appointment. Se habla español.
Picture this. You're behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor. You're effortlessly breaking ground, moving piles of rocks just by moving a lever, and enjoying the sun as you clear brush across your pasture. We could keep trying to put you in the moment, but to really understand what this feels like, you just have to get in the seat.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
Maybe your AC unit needs a little tender loving care. If you don't know where to turn, then you don't know Jack. In fact, they're downright funky. Let the boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating get your AC unit ice cold, just like some of my lady friends. Don't let any fool make you lose your cool. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating. If you don't know Fergie, then you don't know Jack. 622-2660.
Do you love your car?
Yes.
Well, Roswell Hyundai wants to help you keep your current car with a lower payment. Introducing Refi with Hyundai. Roswell Hyundai wants to help you refinance your current vehicle with rebates and discounts to lower your payment. If you're ready to upgrade, Roswell Hyundai has a fresh inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles with special financing available regardless of your credit with I-10 accepted. Don't forget, all new Hyundais come with a 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty and 3 years of free oil changes. So, what makes Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico? You do. Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. U-Haul is the world's largest advertiser in the Yellow Pages. Too bad millennials don't know what the Yellow Pages are. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 26 minutes after 9 o'clock. And yes, my guest is here, but it was my later guest. So Don Weld joining us here in studio. Also a veteran, but at a particular moment going to be wearing his Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge hat.
Yeah.
Here. So, but before we do talk with Don here, and his Alzheimer's hat too. He's got many hats. You need more heads. The three-headed Don. That's what we need. But before we kind of talk about some of those things, I do want to mention for veterans on Veterans Day here on Monday, November 11th, all veterans and spouses of deceased veterans are invited to their annual Veterans Day banquet that's going to take place on November 11th at First United Methodist Church. That's going to be at 5 p.m. The menu consists of smoked chicken or brisket with some sides. They're going to have entertainment. Mary Gonzalez and Danny Castro are going to be doing music and entertainment, and they're going to be honoring some veterans as well, too. Awards honoring veterans Jack Swickard, Jim Castee, and Jaime Fierro as well, too. here on Veterans Day. So that's going to be at First United Methodist Church, 5 p.m. For veterans, spouses, come on out and let's enjoy a great meal and honor our vets, and then come enjoy some great entertainment by Mary and Danny, and of course honor Jack, Jim, and Jaime. So good deal there. Don's like, all right. He goes, Don was just telling me, he goes, man, it's going to be a good day of eating there. You go, I'll be at Nimmy for breakfast on Monday, and then at First United Methodist Church for dinner on that night there, too.
Yeah.
So eat well. We're going to be a lot of roly-poly veterans Monday night.
There you
go. But, and of course, while we're talking veterans, too, also, of course, we replayed our interview we had with Jen and Lee from Post 61 last hour. We do have our Veterans Day citywide celebration here on Saturday morning. They're asking folks, if you'd like to be in the parade, there is no sign-ups or pre-registration. Just come on. And they're asking people to start gathering around 8:30 a.m. on either the parking lot behind the courthouse on Virginia there, or in Pioneer Plaza across the street from.
We'll funnel them.
We'll fill in right in the middle there. Don, also one of his three-headed hats there is Legionnaire, too, so he can chime in on this.
We'll do that.
But and of course we'll start the actual ceremonies about 9 a.m. here on the courthouse lawn. By the way, since that interview, we've got 2 guest speakers that are going to be speaking at this year's Veterans Day Assembly. We're going to have, of course, Dr. Sean Powell with Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell, and then, of course, Michael Trujillo, veteran as well, business owner.
Both of them.
Yeah, they're both going to be speaking. Of course, I think Michael was city council. I know he served in government here for a little bit.
Yes, yeah, he did.
I think it was city council, but I've slept since then. So,
yeah.
But both gentlemen will be our guest speakers at this year's Veterans Day celebration. Again, this Saturday, at gathering of the peoples at 8:30, 9 o'clock for the actual ceremony, and then the parade will kick off right after the ceremony. And don't forget, this parade, we will meet and gather there in front of the courthouse lawn, and it'll head north up Main Street. They'll back off about College and end up in the Wool Bowl parking lot, and we'll have a few vendors and booths and things. I know they've got some things planned there as well too. So, and that's in a nutshell what's going on Saturday. And then in the middle of the day on Monday, in between NIMI and the Veterans Dinner at 1 o'clock, they're going to do the Daughters of the American Revolution dedication there on the Veterans Memorial right here on the courthouse lawn. Right. They're going to put a DAR placard there, and they're going to have a ceremony, and I believe NMMI is going to have some of their choir or band out part of that too, and so it should be a nice deal. And that's free and open to the public, and love to invite people to come out.
Come on down.
Yeah, about 1 o'clock on Saturday.
Right.
I'm in on Monday, Veterans Day, and be a part of that.
Right.
I think that covers our veteran stuff.
Well, yeah, it does. After the Veterans Parade on Saturday?
Yes.
Come on out to Bitter Lake.
That's where we're going to talk cranes and cocoa.
Yeah.
Yes.
About 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Come out.
Yeah. After a morning of walking
relax
and doing
come out and just relax, enjoy. Jim Montgomery, who is a long, I could go on long for a long time, servant of the city.
As long as a crane's leg.
Yeah, you got it, man. He's been around like forever. And he's going to give his little talk on cranes.
Excellent.
Excellent talk. He really knows those cranes well.
And it's really cool if you've never been a part of it. It's and this is the beauty of having Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge in your own backyard. As we say every time we talk about bottomless lakes, that's the human recreation area where you can go fish and boat and swim and do all those fun recreation things. Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge is the animals' home. It serves as a migratory location. I always do the running joke. It's a pilot flying J for migratory animals.
That's right.
Everything from birds to butterflies to everything in between. Use it as a rest stop as they head north or head south, depending on the season.
Yeah.
And right now, as the weather's changing, getting colder, they're all heading south for the winter.
Yeah.
And this is right around the time when the cranes pop in for their visit. They come in, and so because they they run like a German train schedule. They're in this, they'll be in this weekend, and you can and so that's why we have their annual Cocoa and Cranes event, and so and it'll be this Saturday night. So if you've never got a chance, or afternoon, evening, but if you never had a chance to come out and be a part of this, I would say this is probably the second most known event as part of the Bitter Lake. I mean, Dragonfly Festival is probably the most popular, but Cranes and Cocoa's probably number 2 on that one.
Yep. Little cocoa, a few cookies, a little talk, and then once he finishes his talk, we'll go out on take a little caravan out, and we're going to try and time it so that we get out there just about sunset. That's when the cranes have been out all day, feeding around the area, cleaning up loose grains and insects, etc.
Gotcha.
So they come back to
fueling
nest.
up for the rest of the trip here, basically.
Yeah, well, they're going to nest that night.
Okay.
And I don't know. I haven't gotten the information yet this year, but as I think that the parking spaces are getting full in that lake.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the cranes are coming in pretty good.
So they have to get an attendant to sign parking and everything.
You go over there. So
look for the crane with the hat. He'll be the one.
Yeah, he's the one directing it. Yeah. So then some of them continue on. We do have some who remain here resident through the winter.
And they'll probably sometimes nurse young and everything else on occasion, too. That's happened in years past.
Most of their young are, you're right, though.
Yeah.
They were fledglings when they left Canada and that area, came down here.
Sure.
So by now they're mature. They're adults, but they've still got some growth to learn.
Well, and I would maybe guess, too, because this is just how Mother Nature works and things, some of them may be ones that are sickly that maybe can't, like they kind of can't make the rest of the trip, so they say, "All right, this is where we're settling."
That may be too.
That's just how Mother Nature and how life works sometimes, and so they can't stay up with the flock anymore, so they settle there. So.
Yeah, well, we'll stay here for the winter and build up some strength.
Yeah,
and we get the geese out there too. Canada geese come in about this same time, so we'll have a little get together.
So it might get a little noisy out in the lake depending on certain times of the day. A lot of squawking going on.
Yep. They like to talk to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wonder if it's trash talk or you wonder if it's kind of like.
Who knows? You might be good friends too.
That's right.
Hey, how you doing? Oh, did you go over there? Did you see this?
It could be that. Hey, I heard they got some good grass over here on the other.
There you go. Yeah.
But we would love to invite you to come out to be a part of Cranes and Cocoa. And this is, like I said, it's free. Just come on out. Will the gift shop and everything be open during that time?
Yes, it will.
Folks want to do
we'll
some
have
shopping
the gift shop open so you can do a little shopping for Christmas.
Christmas is right around the corner.
Yep.
And here's the cool part. The Friends of Bitter Lake, which is actually what Don's officially a part of here, that is the volunteer organization that is attached to the Wildlife Refuge. The official volunteer organization. They are the ones that run the Dragonfly Festival and things. They also run that store in there, that gift store.
Correct.
And all the things you buy and all the money generated from that go back to projects in the refuge. Like that deck and everything you'll be enjoying the cranes on, that's one of those projects.
That's right.
That came from. So, so that's where that goes. So I highly, if you're looking for great Christmas ideas, they have an amazing gift shop there that you can find. Of course, you get T-shirts and hats and stuff, but great books and educational toys and all kinds of fun things that
little jewelries.
Yeah,
that are nice. Oh yeah, I've
some
seen
bling. Yeah,
got some nice little blings. Little jewelries, earrings and such. That are really neat.
Yeah, so you can get some really nice, unique gifts for the holidays here, and at the same time, you're keeping everything. Keeping the Bitter Lake, keeping it to have its ability to do what it to do long after we leave the earth.
That's right.
So
yeah,
that's what it's about. And please, and I also want to invite you to come check out Bitter Lake all the time because
all year round.
Yeah, each trip to Bitter Lake, if you go in a different season, it's a different experience.
Yep.
There.
Yeah.
It's just depending. It's the circle of life. It is just a timestamp of the circle of life, and it's just. Okay, this time of year, that the birds, things are going to come in, and then during this time where they're gone, these types of plant life and things start taking over. And so you come out, and that's why you come out in say August, September, you're seeing the dragonflies and that kind of thing. And then just a month later, as the more migratory, that stuff starts going away, and you're seeing these birds, these unique birds, these like your geese and stuff, these really North American migratory birds. All of them, it probably those breeds make a pit stop into Bitter Lake at some point.
That's right.
You know, that's just and then we get, and then other parts of the year, it's the monarch butterflies. It's the each part, and then you come in the spring, you're starting to see the life
new growth.
the new growth, the new life, the things coming out of the hibernations, and the birds and the bees and everything coming from the south are starting to plop in to head back north. And
we have a cleanup in about April or so, March or April. We get a cleanup around there, prepping for those birds, the animals and birds going north.
Yeah.
So
I would like to say, if you come out on Saturday and then you're like, man, this is great, and you get out there and you're like, okay, maybe you had a lot of life this week with elections and flooding and everything else, and you get out there and you're sitting out there with your cup of cocoa, and it's all you're hearing is the cranes going and the crickets, chirping, and you're like, all right, this is life, man. And you're like, this is life, and you want to get more involved. I invite you to become a friend of Bitter Lake, and that way you can help out. You get to be a part of the park more. But really, you can get out there and work in the service project side if you'd like to. I mean, there's many different ways to be involved. But if you're like, hey, I would love to get a rake and a shovel and just help you guys work on trails or work on various projects out there, and so you get a chance to be out in that. And if you love to explore Bitter Lake, being a friend kind of gives you an all-access pass to places that
you wouldn't get
the public don't get to be a part of, because there's, again, as I say, that facility is not for you; it's for Mother Nature.
And that's what we're there to support nature.
Yeah, and we're just the fly on the wall watching it and watching it happen here. So there's parts of that place that because we just don't want humans in there disturbing the ecosystem.
Right,
it's just not good. And the other side is we like to remind folks is that it is not just nature's history and everything. It is human history because of our native populations, the buffalo hunting grounds, everything that was out there. It's as much a study in human history, even the New Deal era works and projects and all the that stuff that's out there, the history of that.
CCC.
So, the CCC stuff it's as much human history as natural history out there. So that's what it's there for. So, but as a friend, you get to see some of that, and depending on projects and opportunities, you might get to go out to some of the buffalo hunting grounds and places that they don't let the public go to, because guess what? There's still archaeological, evidence of native life out there still, and you go digging around, you'll find it.
Technically, the actual Bitter Lake itself is in a restricted area.
Yes,
because we don't want that. We want that to be pristine.
That's like the mothership. You don't want to mess with it.
Don't mess with it. All the ponds that we see out there are runoff ponds.
Gotcha.
And we set those up for the cranes, the geese for the winter.
But ideally, if those get messed up, it doesn't mess with the mothership. So
no, it goes back. That's why we keep that in the backyard. You might say.
It's all the science to it.
Right. Now there are two ways that you can help out.
Okay.
You can join the Friends. That's wonderful. We like that. But you can also go directly to the refuge and volunteer directly for the refuge.
Okay, great.
You just talk to Steve Alvarez.
Yeah.
They're in the he has
of course,
an
we've
office.
had Steve on the show a bunch of times.
He's
I just call him the park ranger of Bitter Lake.
There you
that's
go.
really what he is.
Yeah.
I mean,
and he's getting ready to retire here pretty soon. Next year or two.
Okay.
So I think he's got one more year.
So just gee whiz curious, is he gonna? I know he's got time here, but is he want to settle down here, or is he gonna go somewhere else, or is he talking about that yet?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Well, I just know Steve has been kind of he's been in Roswell in this area for a while.
He has 20 years,
and he's very much beloved the community. And sometimes when you put roots down, you don't want to. You don't want to leave.
I get the feeling. What I think he wants to do is to stay here, but do some travel.
Oh, I got you.
Once he retires,
he wants to be a snowbird.
Yeah, well, all over the world, kind of like I do.
I think. Well, okay, because I'm just thinking, because one of the known facts is that we have some of our RVers, especially during the summer months, and they'll volunteer and they'll come out and basically camp out at Bitter Lake for a month.
That's right.
In their RV and run the store there for
That's
everybody.
right.
And so maybe he's going to do that, like,
I don't
he'll
know.
just be in the Grand Canyon 1 month and maybe up in the Ozarks or something later on, whatever.
That could be too. Well, I do know he wants to go to Africa.
Okay. Is that a bucket list item?
Giving him the bug, and so he wants to go see a few things.
As a guy who loves wildlife and loves nature and everything, to experience.
Beautiful place to go.
And I don't care when you've only been in your own country or not even for that matter. If say you've only lived in Southeast New Mexico your whole life, you see us and you're used to a certain environment, and then you go to a different, and you don't even have to go to Africa. You could do it in the United States.
That's right.
And the bugs, the birds, the everything, the plants, it looks
all
night
different.
and day different. And
They're all different.
And so that's, to be honest, growing up in Maryland and everything, it's nothing like it is here.
That's right.
And I forget how green it is there until I go back there, and then I go back and visit, and they're like, oh, it's a drought here, and I'm like, are you kidding me? It's like it's the darkest green I've seen in years.
That's right. That's right. It's like they get our monsoon that we just got here every day.
Yeah, exactly. So I could see, as a guy that loves nature and loves stuff, for him to experience,
he might just
touch the dirt in Africa, and probably watch more than a National Geographic documentary about it. So
I would encourage anybody who can to travel any place in the world. I don't care where.
Well, Don, you just got back from Vietnam yourself here.
I did.
So that
Vietnam, Cambodia, and Thailand, and it was a fantastic trip. I learned so much and saw so much.
So is it like, do they still have that? Just I know I'm way off topic now, but I'm just curious. Is there still that north-south divide, or is it? It's all like, I mean, I'm sure there's some historical evidence of it.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But as far as a mindset to that,
now, that's what I really liked about this whole trip.
Yeah.
They embrace their history.
Okay.
They don't try to bury it. They don't try to put it aside. They don't try to knock it down.
Sure.
They embrace their history.
Well, that's truly how
they live it.
And you just study it, and you learn the lessons from it.
That's
the good,
right.
the bad, and the ugly. And
that's right.
Why it's there.
And they looked at all of it, good, bad, and ugly.
Yeah.
They saw both sides. And so I'm really happy with the way they have progressed.
Excellent. So Vietnamese cuisine overall, what would you give it?
Well, I like Oriental types of foods anyway.
Gotcha.
I've been fighting some gastric problems.
Oh, so you probably didn't get to enjoy it the full extent you would like.
That's right.
Because the last thing you want to do with a stomach that's already, having some
compromised
issues is introduce it to foods and foreign spices and foreign things that you're not used to giving it.
What I could eat was fantastic. I really enjoyed it.
Good deal.
And it was not the typical Oriental food that you might get in this stuff.
Is there a big American influence in cities and stuff there, or is that?
It's always been there.
Yeah, and that's what I was curious. Like, to what level is it? Like, could you walk around and navigate? There's enough American there, or could you get really lost and not see or do anything?
English is a very common language.
Okay, so you can probably navigate pretty well around town if you have to.
There are certain cases where you're going to run into problems, of course, but for the most part, I would say maybe 4 or 5 out of 10 speak English.
Okay.
Adequately enough that you can get what you need.
Gotcha.
So you're not going to have any problems speaking English.
Yeah.
And if you go with a group,
sure,
you're going to be that much. They're going to take care of all that anyway.
I just didn't know if you if you get because I think of these Vietnam villages, and I saw a lot of your pictures, and of course very old, but I just didn't know if there was you see that, but then there's a Kentucky Fried Chicken. You know what I mean? Like sitting
you
there.
Got it.
I was like, is that there? Do they have that?
Burger King, Kentucky Fried Chicken, they're all there.
Okay, I was just
they're
curious
all very
if
popular.
It was that was infused, or did they still kind of keep it to their customs and traditions?
You get both.
Okay.
Now, on my trip, we kind of shied away from
it's like I can see that here in Roswell.
Yeah, we wanted all of the good stuff.
Yeah, I'm not going to Vietnam to eat KFC.
Yeah.
If they had Vietnamese fried chicken, then we're talking. But not,
there you go.
Not Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah. So no, it was a really good trip.
Good. I was just curious, and And I know from time to time, you used to kind of sometimes do a thing at the library or something. Is there any talks for that one yet?
I haven't been to the library in a long time, but
Okay.
I think that would be a something to look at in the future.
I love that because that's something that I think, and this is again what Don's always got this server's heart here, where you enjoy these experiences. You're at that phase in your life where you're getting to see the world, and like for we're talking about Vietnam now, but Don's been to Egypt, he's been to other part India,
Africa.
I mean, you really get it.
Australia,
seen the world here.
Yeah.
And you, but not only do you go do that, you've gone to the library and you have talks that talk about your experiences and things, and get to share where some kids and things that have never maybe left Chaves County in some cases,
right,
now get to see it and hopefully inspire them to when they choose their paths in life that they incorporate maybe seeing some of
little extra, do a little travel.
Yeah.
The more you travel, the broader your base is.
The more enlightened you are when you see how the other half lives. That's just and it's kind of and I don't want to get political here, but when you look at the election, you look at all the stuff here, and kind of get back to veterans, and if most veterans have seen things, because I'm not talking about war stuff per se, but just culture.
Getting out there.
Yeah, odds are if you spent 4 years in the military, you didn't spend all of it in the United States of America. You probably sat in maybe the Middle East or Japan or Africa, or just depends.
Got to see something.
Anywhere in the world. And anytime you go to see, how people live and immerse yourself to that level where you're living there, it alters your view on life, and you understand, because you're seeing other perspectives and you're seeing things. I'm not saying it doesn't change your convictions on everything. But it gives you perspective. It gives you understanding. It makes you start to realize, oh yeah, there is two sides to every story. Sometimes.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And that's a good thing. So yes, encourage young people to go and see the world and do those things, because
embrace our history. Worldwide.
It evolves to a better human being.
That's right. Yeah.
Anyway, we are way off topic. Let's bring it back to Bitter Lake.
That's okay.
Cranes and Cocoa.
That was enjoyable.
Is this Saturday? What time is everything getting underway?
Be out there about 3.
About 3 o'clock.
So by the time the parade ends, you can relax. Go, if you want to go have lunch or something like that, that's fine. And get out there about 3 o'clock. We only have so much space in the auditorium.
Sure.
So it's our first come, first served to actually sit in on the lecture.
Sure.
And then as soon as that's done, we'll go out and watch
Enjoy
the cranes.
the cocoa and the cranes and everything else.
So.
While I got you on this, as far as flooding and stuff, is any routes to Bitter Lake impacted due to flooding stuff that we need to give a heads up on?
No, Pine Lodge is open.
Everything's
all the way out.
Perfect.
Right, all the way from Maine if you want to go that way.
Excellent.
The only thing that had some kind of a problem was Red Bridge.
Okay. I knew there's some bridges out there. I was like, that's what I was kind of asking.
But it's I drove it the other day, and
that one's
it was fine.
Structurally fine.
So,
well, the good news is that the county and everybody, they've gone through. And so if a bridge is closed right now, it's because they went through it. And if it's open, it's because someone inspected and said, no, this one's fine, and it's good to go.
Yeah. I was gone during the flood.
You were in Vietnam. That hopefully we were just talking about.
Right. But and we got all kinds of reports on it. I was devastated at the damage here. But when we got back, I kind of went around and looked. I am so impressed with this city and how the people have come together to help each other.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of damage, a lot of things that need to be done.
Oh, we still got a lot of work to do.
Oh, man, it's incredible to see what's going on.
Well, and this is that side of tragedy where we see the greatness in humanity.
Humans. Yep.
9/11, when we saw, the maybe one of the saddest days of most people lives,
right.
American history. But from that ashes rose that phoenix, rose the love, rose the coming together of America that, quite frankly, in my 50 years on this earth, I've never seen before or since. During that time in 9/11, we're human beings, regardless of where you came from in life or where your background. All Americans were just coming together
to help each other,
and being to help each other, and you get those moments in the darkest hours, and in one of Roswell's darkest ones with this flood. We saw the beauty in Roswell come out.
Yep, that we did.
And all I ask is, when you get down and you get negative and we get mad at each other, remember those moments. Remember where we can be if you allow that to happen. And so that's what the flooding teaches us, and that's where and again we're go out and enjoy cranes and cocoa, but the big picture here is doing this. So I would want to get time for some Alzheimer's updates.
One more thing here.
Yes.
23rd. We decided to postpone the walk because of the
weather, flooding
and
all the damage and what happened.
So we've reassigned it to the 23rd, Saturday, and everything else will be the same. You come out 9 o'clock in the morning.
Sure.
Have a little ceremony and see everybody and do your sign up. Be sure to sign up. Be sure because there'll be a sign up table. Sign in. Do whatever on your donations. Get your little windmill thing and
keep raising money. Keep
raising money. We're getting closer and closer. Just need some more money to put that over the top and get us the cure.
I swear, I really think before I leave this earth, we're going to have a cure for all of this.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah, I think it's.
I would love to see it in my lifetime.
Because I remember when I was a kid, and they talk about Alzheimer's, and that's it.
Yeah.
There was, and as soon as they diagnosed it within months, you're pretty much lost.
You were gone.
This person, and whatever they weren't left to. Wasn't much left to be worth having anyway.
Yeah.
And nowadays people are getting diagnosed with dementia or Alzheimer's, and they're living for years with relatively quality life.
Yeah.
Until we hit, we can't cure it yet, but man, we're giving meaningful life to people that get diagnosed with this. And I'd like to say, we're so close to saying not only can we give a meaning life, we can reverse the effects, and we can reverse it to where you can have a normal life longevity situation.
That's what we're looking for. That white pin.
Yes, the white pin.
Yeah,
the pinwheel.
Pinwheel.
I say pinwheel. Yeah, that's what we should say.
I spent 9 years taking care of my wife.
Yeah.
Once we knew there was something wrong when she was diagnosed, and for the next 9 years I took care of her.
Yeah.
So.
And it is, put it this way, it's kind of a death sentence for you too. You know what I mean?
It can be.
The mental health, the side that I know there's probably so many stories of the sadness of the dementia, but just the family falling apart because of the consequences of that.
The caregiver probably suffers a whole lot more than the patient.
Unfortunately, that is the case because especially if they get the certain types of dementia that gives them the aggressiveness, and all are different. Every person with dementia and Alzheimer's has different symptoms and things. I mean, it's one of those things, and again, they're figuring out. They're way better. They're starting to tie links to some of the causes of some of this stuff now, and they're starting to connect the dots. And once the dots are all connected, then the cure comes. That's we're close. So please come out on the 23rd and be a part. Even if you're just like, I didn't even know this thing. Great, you still got time.
That's right.
Get involved. Come enjoy. Come be part. If you still got time, you want to put a team together and do all that, we'll figure that out.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out. But even if you're just hearing about it, come on out on the 23rd. Come and of course it is a celebration of our of those folks that are fighting. We honor those that we lost, and so there is that emotional side. So come be a part of that side too, and see the impact of what this disease has done and what we're doing to fight about it, and so it is a bit of an emotional day because it is we're celebrating highs and lows here. But
that's right.
The more purple, the more awareness, the more pinwheels, the more raised means the more bucks, the more resources, and the more ability to kick this Alzheimer's in the butt.
Right. I just thought about that. We actually call those pinwheels the flowers.
The flowers, okay.
Yeah.
But it looks kind of like those little pinwheels you put in your front lawn,
and it does spin too.
Yeah. Or on your hat, your propeller.
There you go. There you go. It make it a little fun to go along with our sadness.
And that's what it is. We're celebrating life.
Yes.
And to be honest, once you get that diagnosis and you've got basically a cap on when you know how much life you got left, you're going to cherish what you have left.
That's right.
And so the pinwheels and everything, and that's what this event is celebrating the life we got now. We got you here. Let's enjoy these moments, and we're going to pray and we're going to fight to give you as much of that as we can here until we can say, you know what? Guess what? It's reversing. It's
we're getting
the symptoms
getting
are
a handle on it.
going the other way.
Yep. Let's keep that going.
Friendsofbitterlake.org is a great resource for anything with cranes or coke or anything Bitter Lake related. Come on out again about 3:00 on Saturdays when the everything will get underway here. And first come, first serve. It's completely free. But if you want to get in on the talk and everything before the actual going out to watch the cranes, get there a little early because it will be first come, first serve.
Yep.
And we
They'll
can
give
accommodate.
you something, a little note, or let you.
And then, and of course, we invite you to do a little shopping to help out the Bitter Lake, Friends of Bitter Lake, and of course, get you some great gifts for the holidays coming up here.
That's the best part. She gets such great gifts.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm telling you,
and they're not expensive, and the money goes right back into to Bitter Lake.
Yeah, and if you've never been out to Bitter Lake, shame on you. Go check it out. It is a gem in your own backyard and make Saturday your first experience.
It's our refuge out there. We support that, and we want to make sure that the animals and birds and whatnot have a good, safe place to stop off.
Yeah,
make their Pilot J stop
exactly.
over.
Get their hero sandwich and soda and me on the right here.
There you go. You got it.
Absolutely. Well, Don, as always, appreciate you and what you do, and let us know what else we could do, and we'll see you next time.
All right, thank you, Mike.
All right. Oh, dang, we gotta take a quick break. It is 9:58.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. A short portion of East Mescalero Road in Roswell is scheduled to close all next week for underground utility work. The work is being done to accomplish the new business being built at the southeast corner of Mescalero and North Main Street. Mescalero will be closed to through traffic between Main and Wilshire Boulevard, although access will be provided to businesses and homes along that section, as well as residences in the adjoining block of Alhambra Drive. The U.S. Small Business Administration is opening a business recovery center in Roswell today. The office, located at Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell, in the Arts and Sciences Center. The Workforce Connection, that's at 61 University Boulevard. The hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. They'll be closed on Veterans Day. The center can provide a wide range of services to businesses impacted by severe storms and flooding that occurred October 19th and 20th. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
President-elect Trump elevates his campaign manager to a top spot in the incoming administration. For the first time in U.S. history, a woman will hold the job of White House Chief of Staff.
In the first major personnel announcement of the transition, the president-elect selected Susie Wiles to serve as Chief of Staff. Trump said in a statement that Wiles is tough, smart, innovative, and is universally admired and respected. He praised her for guiding a victorious campaign and said she will make our country proud.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston. California Governor Gavin Newsom placing Ventura County under a state of emergency as a so-called mountain fire continues to rage. Driven by gusty winds, it has blackened 32 square miles. It's about 5% contained. Ventura County Sheriff Jim Fryhoff says thousands have had to evacuate.
We received many questions about repopulation. We will repopulate as soon as possible. We have not begun that process yet. This is still a very active fire and very unpredictable, and we have a lot of resources out there working this fire, and we want to make sure they are safe as well as we're moving between the city on our main roads.
More than 130 homes have been destroyed. Anti-Semitic violence erupts in Amsterdam, sending at least 5 people to the hospital, resulting in more than 60 arrests. Reaction from Israel, the BBC's Joe Inwood in Jerusalem.
Videos on social media show people being beaten unconscious. One appears to show a man in a canal being told to say, "Free Palestine." The scenes were condemned by Israel's Prime Minister, who called them premeditated and anti-Semitic. Benjamin Netanyahu also announced 2 planes will be sent for what he called a rescue mission.
The union representing thousands of Philadelphia mass transit workers has agreed to delay a potential strike. Union saying that progress is being made in ongoing contract talks. On Wall Street this morning, stocks have turned higher. The Dow is up 176 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
The air pollution crisis in Pakistan's second city continues to worsen.
Toxic, choking, bitter clouds of smog have cloaked the city of Lahore and other areas of East Punjab for nearly a week. The area is used to seasonal pollution, but this year's has started even earlier than expected, with residents experiencing burning eyes, scratching throat, and for some, a tightness in their chest and a dry cough. Lahore is regularly ranked as one of the most polluted cities in the world. Fumes from transport contribute to the pollution, but so too does stubble burning, the practice of farmers in both India and Pakistan of burning the stubble of their crops to clear their fields.
The BBC's Caroline Davies. Hungary's prime minister believes that Ukraine has already lost its fight against Russia's invasion and is predicting that Donald Trump's new administration will abandon U.S. support for Kiev. Viktor Orban repeating his stand that there should be an immediate ceasefire. News and analysis, townhall.com. No cell phones in school? Some adults say no way.
It's no surprise that students are pushing back on cell phone bans in classrooms, but school administrators in one South Florida county working to pull students' eyes away from their screens are facing some resistance from another group as well, their parents. Since the beginning of the 2024 school year, students in Broward County Public Schools have been banned from using their cell phones during the school day. A survey sent out by the country's 6th largest district earlier this fall found thousands of parents in the district say the ban is negatively affecting their kids' well-being. Keith Peters reporting.
Racist text messages, they invoke slavery, are raising concern across the country this week. The messages were sent to black men and women as well as students, including some middle schoolers. They prompted an investigation by the FBI and other agencies. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to our number
Los Deuce
of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday.
Yes.
TGIF.
It is. It's finally Friday. It's rainy now, but I've been told that by this afternoon it'll be sunny. And,
rumor has it.
Rumor has it.
Because Mother Nature's a weekend lady.
To quote a legal term, allegedly.
Allegedly, that's right, that's right. Supposedly, allegedly.
They're telling me there's a possibility.
Yeah, so what you're telling me is...
saying there's a chance.
There's a chance.
But, yeah, and actually the weekend's supposed to be pretty nice.
But right now, they're saying some, but right now only 6% of the precincts are checking in, so we can't be fully sure. Right. We can project at this point that there will be sunshine.
Yes. It's starting to turn a little shiny outside.
A little bit shiny.
Yeah. I do like that they always talk about, well, you guys need to understand and everything. I was like, I don't care how many whamma jammas and explanations you throw at me. I do not understand that when they close the polls and then at 1 minute after they're ready to declare somebody, when I'm like, how can you say that when only... And then someone will hit you with the math and then tell you how that happens, but I'm sorry. I do not... It does not register in my point A to point B brain that says, okay, how 1 minute later you can call for something when only like 10% of things been counted. I don't understand how you can do that.
Projected.
Yeah, I know, but that term is just... But you say projected, but you're not projecting. You're acting.
Right.
That's
I
what
think
it is.
that we could implement this in our everyday life. When when your kids ask you what's for dinner, well, we're projecting chicken.
But
and then hit them with meatloaf
hamburger.
at the end of the day. They have no idea what's coming, you know?
Yeah.
We're projecting Disneyland for vacation. You're taking them to grandma's, you know?
It's just math. It's just like
math.
data teams just like
He says
using
it's just
data
math, like
to predict stuff.
But
You know how
in
there's-
my head, math is sorcery. So
Right. Yes. In my head, math is the devil. I just can't do it.
One of the craziest things to me is I've known somebody who math wasn't their thing. They got into statistics class and became a genius.
picked the wrong
It like
career
all of a
field for
sudden
their thing.
immediately like all clicked for them.
He just didn't realize it was his thing. It was their thing. They just didn't figure out it was their thing until they found the thing and said, this is my thing.
That was their thing, turns out, yeah.
See, English is my thing. So I want to know how that letter got in there with those numbers.
English is your okay, fine. English is your game. Spell your last name for me.
Normally it's ISLAS.
Yes.
However,
I'm about to say.
You decided to use the vowel that's only sometimes.
There's a bit of irony there that the man who says he's an English guy is last name's useless.
That's it. Let me tell you, you know why? Because when they reverse that line around and I get to go to the front of the line, my whole life I've been at the back of the line.
That's right.
Let's try something new. Let's reverse it.
That's why he plays so much fantasy football, because they have a revolving snake draft, and he's always winning near the end.
Yeah, whenever he was getting ready to start working for us, I had stopped his brother, and I didn't know how to say the last name, so I went up there and I said, "Hey, Mr. Useless,"
oh yeah.
And he's like, "What?" He got fighting mad. He's
man.
It's useless, wiseless, wise ass.
I'll do you one better. I used to have to do week after call-outs when I worked at the optometrist office.
Yes.
And there was a young lady whose last name was spelled Fuchs. Now imagine my panic.
Fouché.
When I'm like, what do I do here? Turns out it's pronounced Fox.
Oh yeah.
With an X?
Yeah. Well, that's what gets me. Like all the letters, and like it's pronounced Smith. I'm like, no, it's not. No, there's not even an S in that whole thing. How do I know it was Smith?
That's exactly right.
The Y is silent.
Right. Yeah. So the other 7 letters.
The last thing you want to hear a sheriff call you is Mr. Useless. That's pretty poignant.
Although
it's motivating, though. It is motivating.
Although I smell a campaign.
Yes, that's right.
You have a good sniffer.
That's
right. Oh yeah.
We're gonna go useless on you.
That's it right there. That is it. And people, it's juvenile. People think, by calling somebody, useless and calling us names or whatever, the social media. Okay. No problem.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I have other things to do
Sure.
rather than
bigger
be a
fish to fry.
tough guy.
Actual tangible things to work on here.
Right.
That's it. Yeah. So that was funny. And then just a short time later, then he came to work for us, and I was his field training officer, and I was like,
Oh,
I know how to say this now.
I got another useless.
I said, I know how to say it now after that little encounter.
Yeah.
So that was good.
I feel like this could easily be a scene from like Spaceballs. Keep
I
firing a-holes.
I feel like it is.
And the beauty of it is, you were his field trainer, and the way you learned it was in the field. So
That's exactly
right.
That's practice in action.
Right.
See how it trained itself?
Yeah, it was
absolutely
a good thing to know once he came in. Then you're like, all right, you don't want to call a guy useless on his first day. Yeah.
You want to wait a week or so.
It's like an oxymoron.
Yeah.
It's motivating.
Yeah.
He needs to earn it first.
I feel like in the academy they called you that a lot. Like
Actually, No, they
because academy's kind of like basic training in some ways, and I've ran it a few years. Probably for you too.
I was too busy doing push-ups.
Whole different range of words at the
I just feel like at the academy they use that a lot.
Whole different environment.
Are you familiar with the work of George Carlin?
I was like, I went to Air Force Basic, and I would have totally hammered in on that one.
Let me tell you, I went to Santa Fe, and it was. I think George Carlin may have been back there.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was like, shoot, they had me doing all kind of stuff. They were that name, yeah. Fired me up. All right, we should probably officially start the hour and stuff because in case you haven't figured it out, Sheriff and Undersheriff are joining us here. Jeff County Sheriff's Department.
Good morning, TGIF.
Yeah, so let's do this. Let's go ahead and pause for. Actually, my weather is being ornery, so let's do this. Let's take a quick commercial break. And then we'll officially introduce Charles and Mike here officially from the Sheriff's Department. We'll do that on the other side. Don't go away.
Have you experienced the Valley Cafe yet? It's much more than lunch or dinner. It's an experience. Chef Anthony Noble is a nominated Chef of the Year and manager with a 4.9 out of 5 kitchen cleanliness rating and a 4.8 out of 5 most loved rating. It's time for you to experience the difference that so many others already have at the Valley Cafe. Visit for lunch or dinner at 801 West Brasher, the orange building across from Church on the Move in Roswell. And save the Valley Cafe in your contacts. 575-755-EATS. 575-755-3287. Don't forget, we can cater your event too, and a portion of our proceeds go to the Dream Center in Roswell.
When others say no, Roswell Hyundai says yes. The bank manager is at Roswell Hyundai for a short time to say yes. No social security number or ITIN number? Yes. No driver's license? Yes. It doesn't matter. Roswell Hyundai says yes. If you have a job that earns at least $12 an hour, Roswell Hyundai wants to say yes. Roswell Hyundai wants 100% approval, which means they want to say yes to you. Yes. Get zero down, zero payments till fall, plus up to $4,000 more for your trade. Yes. On now at the home of Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd. Yes. Whether it's NFL on Thursday, Sunday, or Monday night, college football on Saturdays, or Roswell Coyote and Goddard Rocket football on Friday, Game Day Roswell is your #1 destination, with a kitchen open for all your favorite snacks and apps, and a stocked bar with a full line of beers and spirits, with happy hour pricing all the time, including $4 bottles and $5 16-ounce tap. And try the Game Day signature shot, Cinnamon Rocky Mountain Honey Whiskey, open Monday through Friday at 3, Saturdays at 11, and Sundays at 10:30 at 913 South Sunset in Roswell. Game Day, the place to go for football.
At Martine's Capital Cafe, come in and enjoy a delicious variety for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Try our burritos, huevos rancheros, asado, chorizo, sausage, flantas, fajitas, chili rellenos, quesadillas, enchiladas, sopapillas, and don't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger and so much more. Everything is prepared with the finest and freshest ingredients. Martine's Capital Cafe. Quality, value, tradition, and the most delicious New Mexican food since 1989. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th Street in Roswell.
The road to the NMAA State Championship begins this Saturday for your Goddard Rockets as they travel to Lovington to take on the Wildcats. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM and KSVPTV.com have got you covered. Join Chris Deck and Chris Roybal for the pregame show beginning at 12:45 and kickoff at 1. Rockets versus the Wildcats of Lovington in playoff action. Saturday beginning at 12:45 on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM and online at KSVPTV.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Turtles can breathe through their butts. We imagine you know some people who do that too, because that's where their heads reside. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 16 minutes after 8 o'clock. Now I can say officially joining us in studio this morning from the Chaves County Sheriff's Department, of course, Sheriff Mike Harrington and Undersheriff Charles Eastless in studio with us this morning. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
Of course, you guys have probably been pretty busy.
Yeah,
you know, from flooding to just day to day to just everything else. And so I'm glad you guys got to take a moment and get you two together in the same room in one place at one time right now. That's kind of a miracle in and of itself.
It really is. It's crazy right now because everybody's going in every direction.
Sure.
And, you know, we're doing things in the schools for the what is the name of that we're giving the awards for?
Oh, for the.
Gosh darn, my mind just went blank. But
it's Friday.
That's right.
Yeah. So
there's about 60 things going on.
Yeah. So we got guys in
Red Ribbon Week.
Red Ribbon Week.
Thank you. Okay.
Because the flood canceled that out in the schools for that Red Ribbon Week.
Sure.
So we've been trying to catch up, giving awards for posters that were done. One of the best things that I can tell you that has happened this year was we got the children involved by having them do posters.
Awesome.
And then the school picked out the winner, and then they got gift cards for $10, and then a grand prize for $50 went to one child. So it went down through the grades. So it was really a good thing. So I've got
that's all part of that establishing that community policing, what we talk about.
Yes.
When these kids seeing officers in this light and things, and so when times in their life don't go well, they see law officers as help, not something else.
And you're teaching them, okay, this is another way of saying or learning about say no to drugs.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just get up and talk to all the kids, you're not connecting. But once you get them involved and having them doing posters, and there's some sort of incentive at the end.
They see you as the fun guy with the coloring and all that.
So then they really learn about
the cool toys.
So that's one of the good things that we've had. But I'll tell you this: we as a community are unbelievable when it comes to coming to people's aid. One of the things that we have seen, FEMA is actually doing issuing checks right now.
Mm-hmm.
We know several people who have gotten checks that some of them were visited on Saturday, got their checks yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So it's running a couple days, but they are getting some money from FEMA.
Yes.
Which is very important because these people that have been affected really and truly have lost everything.
Absolutely. I had FEMA on yesterday. I'm going to replay that interview next hour. They are going house to house, like you're saying right now. In that interview, and this was yesterday, they were hoping this weekend to set up a place in the mall where folks can go to them.
Oh, that's good.
So and do that. But they were talking yesterday that they were hoping to get it up and running by this weekend. I've not heard an update on that. So as soon as we know for sure, yes, that's a go there. We will let folks know. But that's kind of the next wave for FEMA.
And that's a good thing. But for those who lost everything, the unknown of when help was coming was a crushing people both mentally and physically because they had no places to really sleep.
And emotionally.
Right.
And
you had to triage everything.
Yes.
It wasn't about when are we going to do it in my home. It's like, where are we going to put you tonight?
Where are we going to put you tonight?
Absolutely.
So we have seen the community come together. They're giving things. They're donating their time, donating their services, really helping out a lot of people. So but we've been so busy as the sheriff's office. Let me tell you, the undersheriff has been going 100 miles an hour.
Absolutely.
He's gone, and he's been delivering water. You've seen him out there at the cemetery helping.
I was going to say that's where I've been. I was going to say we talk about everyone going, and I was like, your sheriff department has been doing that same thing, and when they're not doing their day job, literally they're out feeding, delivering water, delivering supplies out at Memory Lawn, trying to work on that. Which is, hey, we need volunteers and help on that. We're leading a meeting. We're trying to plan another cleanup here and everything before Wreaths Across America and all that stuff.
My plan is to create one Saturday a month, and I'm going to put together a calendar and send that out once I get everything finalized. And I also have restaurants on board to provide lunch during that day and things like that. So a big shout out to Domino's for always coming through when those things come out.
Yeah.
But it's going to be to clean up that cemetery. For so many years, it's been I don't want to use the term abandoned, but it just hasn't been kept up.
And I know our Legion Post 61, they took over ownership here
January.
In January, so almost a year now.
Yes.
And to be honest, it's night and day better than it used
really
to
is.
be.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's got a long way to go.
Absolutely.
And that's
the loss of there for a while. The loss of the stones and everything were moved. So trying to figure out where everybody was. This has been a while back. So I mean, I'm talking several years, if not even 5 or 10 years. It's been.
And I can tell you, I don't know all the inside baseball, but based on the sextant and everything that's going on, and looking at, let's just say records over the years are not.
They're not accurate.
And to be honest, we're finding out where we think people aren't, and where people aren't, we're like, who's this? And so we're running into some of that right now. And we're trying to figure out through a little lineage and history. And so it's a lot of that going on.
I'll tell you, I thought with that flood and the way the water was setting, it was going to be kind of like off of some of these movies you watch where all of a sudden the caskets come out of the ground.
Poltergeist.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'll
I
tell
still
you,
traumatized with that when I was a kid.
but you know, they
The
got
old
out
guy.
there and when you see the power of this water, you know,
it's amazing.
and I'll tell you this. I was out, I was helping to rescue people. I was in my truck, which was lifted, big tires.
Oh, yeah, you had a famous incident.
So,
You're a little celebrity too there.
Right, and so for me, I have a big push guard. I have everything. I have the lights, the sirens. I felt like I was in the Batmobile. I was invincible. And I thought, okay.
Until you weren't.
Until I wasn't.
Yeah.
And then I became a boat. And something that is so big and so heavy floating as the way it was going, and then the fear of hitting those tires and flipping on me was a scary thing. And so I got to experience being the rescuer and the rescuee. And so I was able to come back and tell these guys, because he was out and he was working, and you know, there's times where he thought, oh gosh, man, because you go from 18 inches of water to all of a sudden 4 feet of water.
Well,
it's a scary
thing. And the proof is in the pudding, literally there, where you say no matter how much you prepare for it, Mother Nature is going to find a way around your preparation.
That's just
exactly
right.
Yes. Well, and all these calls are coming in of people stranded, and so, you know, I'm saying, okay, mark this down, and then the sheriff comes in. I'm like, add the sheriff to that list. We got to go by check on it.
You know, and it goes back to that Mike Tyson.
I mean, we can laugh now. I mean, we're serious at the time, but we can laugh now.
Yeah, it goes back to that Mike Tyson saying, you know, everyone's got a plan until you punched in the face. And let me tell you, when you're floating across water and you are thinking, oh my God, I'm going to roll this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I've got my knee that I have surgery coming up this Tuesday. Yeah. I get the total knee replacement done on this knee.
So you're like, do I got the wheels to get out of this?
Do I have the strength to get out of this thing? But let me tell you, when a boat hit the side of my truck, and this is good about being short, I was able to stand up in my seat without even thinking about it. And I was crouching in my seat and was able to get on there and get onto the roof. And but what a scary thing, you know. And
I'm glad you're okay. First off, I mean, we're joking and laughing now, but first off,
but you know,
thank God everything's okay.
Yeah, and some people lost their lives, but the number of lives that could have been lost
could have been a lot higher.
When my sheriff's administrator, Janet, was in her house, she's got water that's up 2 feet, 3 feet. Well, those electrical outlets aren't that high. Yeah. And I was like, she's like, the lights are on. You know, your lights on? Yeah, everybody. That's what we were telling everybody. If your lights are still on, there's electricity. And that water will kill you in that electricity.
Yeah,
and so how we didn't have people electrocuted, all these other things,
it could have been worse. You're absolutely correct.
It could have been worse. And the things that people don't think about.
Yeah. Speaking of that, how's your department is overall? Your deputies and staff,
fantastic.
are they all
doing good? They're doing good.
They're in good shape.
They're in
and
good
everything?
shape.
Because these folks literally drop what they're doing to take care of you, to abandon their own personal lives.
Well,
in some
that's
cases.
exactly right. And the true servants, and this is one of the things even the county recognized. They came out and said is, look, you're out there. And I'm going to tell you this. When they called me and they said, hey, the roads are flooded, you know, I'm thinking curb to curb because that's Roswell flood.
Right.
You know, I'm like, all right.
No, this is a little different.
So then when I left my house, it's curb to curb. I get out, I'm going. As soon as I went 1 block over from my house, it was torrential. 2 and 3 feet of water. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you know. So we, as much as we prepare for a lot of things, we don't prepare for that type of flood because we just don't get it. And when it did happen, it's just like everybody else. You know, we had this happen here just a short time ago where the water flooded the base and some of those areas. When this took over and followed the path of the Hondo all the way through town, it was devastating, and people didn't know what to do. And then if you watch the Facebook post before, both mine and the undersheriff's, we're telling people, hey, you need to stay home because people want to get out and drive when weather is crazy.
We're all rubberneckers.
Yep.
We're looky-loos. We're nosy. It's human nature.
And,
yes.
and they see you sitting in the road, got the road blocked off, and they go right around you and go right in the water.
I see that all the matter of fact, there was a couple videos of literally. I think you were doing a live update, and literally someone drove right by and got stuck.
And now you're stuck,
and I think
there you go.
See, watch this guy. And then you had to end the video and go help the guy.
That's what you get.
Hit the red triangle. You know, that's your emergency flashes because now the cars are in the water blacked out and other cars are coming. And man, I was just thinking, oh man, it's going to be bad.
Well, I can tell you this from my perspective, and I was talking to I think you earlier about this, and I will tell you, I was from the talk, from the getting the word out kind of thing. I was spending a lot of that time just on Facebook, just social media, just sharing whatever, and those updates. I was trying to get as many of those up. You guys were hitting them out pretty fast. I don't know if I caught them all, but I was trying.
Yes.
And I do appreciate you guys just keeping. I know people are coming to me. And it's like, oh, thank you for doing it. I was like, to be honest, I'm just sharing what everybody else is sharing.
Yes.
And it was guys like you and others that were in this reporting this stuff and getting it to people. So we're so thankful.
Nobody carries a life vest in their vehicle.
No.
Especially in southeastern New Mexico.
Yeah, exactly.
But now I carry a snorkel.
Nowadays, you're like, the sheriff's department officially has swim trunks now with the badge on there.
Go ahead and get in line for your fins.
That's what they were saying. Well, you could have got out and got into the water. I said, first of all, the water is moving like a river.
Yeah, but I said, more powerful than you.
It's what the water is carrying that is what you got to fear.
Yeah,
because I was sitting there and I was watching a boat. A boat that we find the next day that had hit my truck was still on the trailer.
Yeah.
And for it to be floating along and hit me, and then as I'm on my roof, I'm being hit by propane tanks, by generators.
Yeah.
All the
junk, debris, whatever's in the water.
Air compressors.
Yeah.
And
could
then,
be dead animals, right? Whatever's just in that water.
And then we go back out there, which is crazy. The next day, the water's gone. And my truck has wooden fence posts sticking out of it.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it was crazy. The water was just sticking everything in, and that's what caught people's cars on fire. After they got them done, they didn't think about the debris underneath.
Sure, and then they start up.
And it dried out.
I know fire department, Roswell Fire Department issued out, I shared that.
Yes.
Because this is like 2 days after people were starting to get out and about again. And you're exactly what you're saying.
Fire.
That all that debris under there, and it's just a little kindling box, and you put a heat source to it, and bada bing, bada boom. And by that time, it's probably dry rotted out and dry, and it probably goes up like that. So, if you need firewood for the winter, kindling,
clean out
save some of that stuff and throw it in a box somewhere. It'll go up quick.
So
definitely tinder.
So right now, one of the things that I've done is I've got Charles doing a lot of the Facebook stuff, and the reason for that is because I want this after I'm done as the sheriff here in 2 years, and he becomes the sheriff. I want him to continue this. He has to know all of this stuff, and he has gotten into it, and he is really putting a lot of stuff out there.
Sure.
He is constantly busy. I've got him doing a lot of things that are going to help out later down the road whenever all this comes, because we want the change of power to be smooth.
We want to continue what we've started.
Yeah, you want it to be a seamless transition.
Yes.
So when the day that you're putting on your fishing hat and the day you're putting on your sheriff's hat,
he's going to be putting on the undershirt.
That's right.
You don't get to retire that early.
He's going to help. We've been buddies and partners for a long time, and we're going to keep that going.
And so that's one of the things that we look at right now is just getting things going and in a department, you should know the job of the person above and below you. So you need to know all those things.
And this is where my military brain kicks in. It's all part of chain of command and knowing your chain of command and knowing, and if you utilize that properly and do it, that's how the organization works. And when things get askew is when people generally don't use the chain of command. And
that's exactly right.
That's why it's there, and that's why, and I'm sure every law enforcement agency in the country uses the same kind of deal. It's just
100%.
It's a proven way. Because how do you get an organization of people to do one thing in the same direction? These are skill sets that achieve
that. Nothing trains you to become the sheriff more than being the undersheriff.
I would imagine.
And I'll tell you, because the sheriff said, "Oh, You just run the day-to-day operations.
I was about to say, I'm not
that was a setup.
I was going to say, I'm not trying to, but I'm thinking as sheriff, you're probably going to have a few less duties.
Yes, I do.
Because generally what the sheriff don't want to do, so now you're going to pick up some duties.
That's
Because
what I
Charles
do.
is going to be like, remember that time you told me?
I'm like, hey,
Yeah,
I told him, I said, hey, are you going to be under sheriff? I've seen what I made you do.
I'm about to say, you might be taking some lumps. I'm just saying.
Right now.
I'm going to show you how to put that on the lieutenants.
That's what I do. Yeah.
He calls Domino's. Mike Harrington's our new Domino's pizza contact.
Yeah.
He'll be like that. Did you get a hold, Lieutenant?
You know, and the craziest thing is whenever he started doing the Facebook, so many people thought that I had already
disappeared.
And
Well,
I was
and
like,
to be honest, because you're going through knees, and everyone's like, is he healthy? Is he okay? He's going to get out of the spotlight.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I will do is I will keep the public updated on his next knee.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, it was.
And I'm ready.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm ready. That's something that's you.
Well,
you don't know how far along technology has gone, and just watching Elon Musk, you can see the technology is unbelievable, right? Well, that's the same thing in knees now. The knee surgeries are unbelievable. You're up and you're moving and you're doing things so fast, and the pain is gone. That's the biggest thing right now is the pain.
I've always
this other knee
been
is just
told
crazy,
that when it comes to like any kind of knee joint replacements like that, the key is listening to the follow-on your doctors give you.
That's exactly right.
If you follow the rehab properly, you're probably going to have a pretty, I'm going to say pain-free, but a much easier time
He was just telling me
than
about
you fighting
some
and
of the
resisting and not doing your work and putting your time in. Those are the people that generally have complications and things like that.
So I've got that mindset where I'm going and I get it done. And,
and I imagine they had you walking like, because I
the
knew
same day.
my mother-in-law
Yeah.
actually just had a knee one done about a year or two ago herself, and literally she had the surgery, and by 2 hours after she was done, they literally had her walking around the facility and getting her rehab started.
Yeah, I've already got my physical therapy set up, so as soon as I get out, I'm right to physical therapy that next day.
Nice.
And but I'm telling you, I already learned what needs to be done from this one.
Yeah.
And this one is going to be so easy.
See,
and
now
so
what's going to
good.
happen is he's going to run down a perp, and all of a sudden, the
that's
sheriff
it.
is moving like 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, it was going
$6 million.
Like all of a sudden, the perp and the sheriff's like, ready to stop you?
I told him I won't be the $6 million man, but I'll be $1 million man. I'm too old for $6 million.
I'm the $6,000 man.
That's our copay.
But it's unbelievable, the technology and all that. But I want to say on live right now, you know, I am so proud of all the law enforcement agencies, and not only the law enforcement, the firemen, the National Guard, dispatch.
They get
all
overlooked
these
a lot.
people.
The dispatch that was working that night.
Well, they're generally the first line of defense, and they're the ones dealing with everything.
They were fielding thousands upon thousands of calls.
Yeah.
The lines got backed up. 911 went down because of all the overflow.
Yeah.
And they kept it together and kept us going in the right direction.
Yeah, and I don't remember numbers, but I seem to remember like a day or two later, it was like 1,500 calls in the span of a couple hours.
And that's just the ones that didn't go to other counties because of the rollover.
Yeah, I don't remember the numbers, but I knew it was astronomical.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, the deputies within my department, the undersheriff, my lieutenants, everybody came out. You know, Lieutenant Drake came out and he was driving the MRAP, and he was doing his thing, and everybody's doing
Lieutenant Ray,
Mike Ray. You know, everybody was doing all these things.
Sure. And
man, just to see the guys in action whenever it's time to be is just impressive to me.
Absolutely.
It is a well-oiled machine. How everybody comes together on something, we have no idea what we were doing for a flood.
And this is what
for a flood.
Is why we salute all of our sheriff's deputies, our all of RPD, state police. This is even for you guys. This was overwhelming.
It was
because
overwhelming.
it's
I'll be
you know, for
upfront and honest,
folks to say this is something that you guys deal with extremes on a daily basis.
Different.
Not this
even
different.
I'm about to say this was overwhelming for everybody.
Yes.
And you are absolutely correct. Despite, because let's face it, every single person wearing a badge is just like you, me, and everybody else. They're equally as worried about their home, their kids, their life, Do I have a place to stay tomorrow? But they put all that aside to make sure you are in that situation. While in the back of their head, while they're pulling you out of whatever or helping you, they're thinking, is my kid okay?
Yes.
My wife okay? Is my husband okay?
How's everybody doing over there?
You know,
well,
your relatives.
I put my fiance to work. She was riding with me, and and one of the saddest things is I was getting call after call after call, and I had a person call, and she was answering my phone for me and just writing down notes. Was a mom that was screaming and crying because her daughter was on the bridge next to Arby's and was trying to hang on, and not to be able to get there. Not
Sure.
only, not
You're
only
just
am I-
watching it happen.
Well, not only am I dealing with people over here, I can't physically get over there because of the.
Those are the things you're like, man, I wish I was Superman. I just fly around and that day.
So this is exactly
frustrating.
I'm glad you brought that up, because this is exactly what I came out and I was telling the guys. I said, listen, a lot of people are not happy. They're happy to see you when you get there, but they're upset it took you so long.
Sure.
And so I experienced this. And what
life is perspective.
Yep. Yes. But what I was telling the guys, I said, listen, they're not mad at you. They just don't understand you can't get to them. They see the lights going all over the place, but when you're out there and your car is moving and you don't know, just like Neil, bro, all of a sudden your car is, and you're being swept off, and all these things happen. It's just a matter of time. If your car flips or if your car gets overtaken by water.
There's so many unknown variables.
And exactly. The other part of that is when you're on top of that car. I had a couple that was being in the water, was coming through, and they were able to get to me, an older couple, and they were able to get up on the bed of my truck. They're freezing to death. They were in that water.
Oh, yeah, hypothermia and all that. I'm surprised we weren't getting more cases of that kind of stuff.
And I was up there. I had my raincoat on, but it's still raining.
And to be honest, August and those warm months, those are you see way more hypothermia cases than you would like the dead of winter. It's the wet and that just enough cold. Because generally speaking, when it's tundra, people are better prepared and better. You know what I mean?
Well, we have 4 seasons in one day.
Yeah.
Right in New Mexico.
All I can tell just from experience, the worst cases when they hypothermia, it's usually situations just like that night where it's not really cold. It's people are kind of in t-shirts and things like that. That's the worst time.
They dress for the day and not for the evening.
Absolutely,
And that's exactly right. And that's what all these people were. Some of them were in their house. The couple who got to my truck and were able to get onto the back of my truck, they were in their house when the house started flooding, and they were able to put their puppies inside of a container and get to my truck. Like a tub, like a tub.
Oh, a tote.
Yeah, like those plastic ones you buy at Walmart or whatever.
So they get there and
Christmas stuff.
But freezing to death. And
those don't provide warmth.
And the water is dirty.
Sure, it's dirty, it's stagnant.
It's not pool water.
Yeah.
It's not. It's
no,
nasty
there's a
water.
smell.
And to be honest, folks, that we're dealing with this, I hope get a physical, because you never know. You never know what microbes or whatever you picked up. Anything that happens. It's just. And next thing you know, you start having some weird medical thing, and you're like, "What's it?" It might be because you picked up some bacteria in that flood. You don't know.
Well, when water floods like that, places that have septic tanks all come up to the top.
Yeah, you're in a stew of everything.
You're stew, yeah.
The good, the bad, and
the
ugly.
Yeah,
I know because the inside of my truck, when the water went into my truck, when you go and you open up those doors, holy moly, man, it's bad. But and that's what we want people to know is that at the Chaves County Sheriff's Office, we will help you. We're trying to get stuff still out to people. Sure. We're doing a lot of things. If anybody needs help getting supplies or has supplies, they can bring them to us and we get them distributed.
Yeah, so if your organization's partnering and looking for things, please reach out to the Sheriff's Department. We got
Comfort Keepers has done really well.
So one thing that I wanted to say yesterday during the DWI meeting that I was at, the school district is asking for mattresses.
Okay.
Because a lot of their kids have no mattresses.
Okay.
And whenever there's no place to sleep, kids are coming to school just beat down. They're laying down on the floors. They're doing whatever they're doing.
And my wife being a teacher, I know they are moms and dads at the schools. So they're teachers. So especially at the elementary levels.
Yeah. So they're asking for beds that they can give to these families because everything in the house is just ruined. So giving these kids a bed is very important. And they asked me for 10 mattresses.
Okay.
So if we can get that out there, if anybody has mattresses.
I mean, are we picky twin, queen, or
I would say,
they're kids. Twins probably more than sufficient.
Twin is good.
But if you got a king, we'll find use for it, I'm guessing.
If you, if you have big, and you could probably put more kids on that bed.
Well, I'm about to say, king, you get, depending on the kid size, at least 6 or so.
Exactly.
So right now they just told me 10. But if we get them all, if we get more than that, I'm telling you, there's more people than that need them.
Well, I know Steve Stucker's his charity, because that's his bed.
Yes,
he was
coming
in
down,
town doing stuff. So I'm hoping that helped a little bit, but I'm sure they can only do so much. You know?
And the thing is that a lot of the people, they've lost their cars, they lost their house,
everything,
so they can't get to some of these things.
They don't have the resources to get to the resources.
Yes,
that's right.
And we've seen that with the school lunches. Yeah, you might be providing a lunch on the school playground, but kids that go there or bust in to some of these schools, they can't get to there. And they're also young kids.
Yes,
and they you don't want your kids walking nowhere.
Sure,
right now. So there's just kids that are going without.
Sure, and this is something too. I know you guys do is you keep stuff in the trunks of the vehicles, of the squad cars. It could be snacks or water, or teddy bears for if there's a domestic. But that you guys please call the sheriff's department if you'd like to get involved. Say, hey, I hear you do that. Is there any of those kinds of things that we can donate for you?
Absolutely.
I can tell you, and just even off-kilter stuff that's related but not related, like latex gloves, things like that. That stuff deputies kind of procure on their own. So if you can make those donations on top of water and snacks or non-perishable things that can sit in a trunk and be okay for a while. That's what we're talking. I mean, don't be bringing hams and stuff.
Yeah. I want to say thank you real quick to Enrique from the disaster relief. Yes, he in the back of my truck now. I have boxes that he provided that we can go around and hand out to families. That box is 1 week's worth of food for one person.
Yes. So when you're out and about and they can't get to these things, say, hey, well, great, this will at least get you through a few days.
And they're non-perishable.
And we'll check back in on you.
So
and
they're
see
in the back of the truck now. So we pull up.
And I'm willing to bet every single deputy that has their beat, so to speak, every day, night, whatever their shift is, they're probably checking in on certain people. How you doing today? Do you need more food? Do you need more resources? Is everybody? Do we need to get somebody to? I'm sure every single deputy's in there because that's how they work. They have their neighborhoods that they all kind of patrol and keep. And it's the beat cop. You know your neighborhood. You know your neighbors. You talk to your neighbors. That's how police work.
That's right.
And so that's what these sheriffs, when they're not out, doing traffic stops and doing that, they're probably knocking on doors and saying, "Hey, Bob, y'all, how y'all doing today? Can we get you anything?"
When you
that's
drive,
what's going on.
When you drive by and you see houses that have stuff still piled in the front, and one thing that you're seeing is where they're piling the trash, the debris and stuff over there at the old airport, the runway off College. It's not, I don't like that it's being piled there, but it's got to be piled there. It's got to be piled somewhere. But the good thing about it is you're actually getting to see they've only got a small percentage, and you're getting to see how much was actually destroyed.
Yes.
And so it brings reality to this because whenever you take it to the dump, it's covered. You don't see the pile.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yep, you don't see the pile. And those trucks are there. I go swimming at the aquatic center at 6 a.m., and they already have trucks lined up there ready to dump at 6 a.m. They're going as fast as they can, but the area that has been affected is crazy.
All that stuff that floated around ended up somewhere, and now we got to get it out of here.
Yes, we do.
All those things that were floating those streets. I don't know how many reports of people that the convention center, where people got stuck there, and all those people's
the
cars.
Connex box.
Yeah, but I heard reports that pretty much if you were parked over at the convention center, they were finding their cars down by Roswell Livestock and Gas Supply. And that's just the cars, not
Spring
to mention
River.
Everything else, and so all that stuff's got to go somewhere. So that's what we're dealing with.
It's like
just
a funnel.
It's just hauling this stuff out and getting it to dispose of. Speaking of that too, we were talking memory lawn earlier at our meeting last night. If anybody has extra dirt, like if they're pulling dirt, it's just dirt, clean dirt. We'll take it. We need it to bring over there to fill in and stuff. We would definitely. Matter of fact, we got somebody, one of our Ruidoso folks, saying that they're hauling all kind of dirt from out of the stuff. They're like paying people to take it to Alamogordo and stuff. Well, I was like, if they can they don't even got to pay us. Just
We're-
bring it all
yeah,
down and we'll take
exactly.
it, dump it right here, and we'll
Yeah.
use it.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll use it.
You can always use filler.
So we're pulling that. We got someone checking in on that one.
Perfect.
But
Okay.
but I
That's
figure I
good.
put that out there.
Yes.
If someone's has extra clean dirt to get rid of, we
Yes.
won't even pay
I'm-
or
We'll put
charge
that
you to
on the
take it.
Facebook.
Like
Yes.
some people are.
And
We'll
I'm
put it on
looking
the
at
Facebook page too.
Okay.
I'm looking at December, starting this in December, because on the 23rd I'll be doing the Alzheimer's walk
Yes.
over here at
yeah.
the.
Matter of fact, we had Don on talking a little bit about it last hour. So
yes.
yeah.
So my aunt suffers from. I've had family members that are dealing with it now.
And they kind of
have passed
postponed
from
it
so.
because of the flooding, obviously. So,
yes.
but they are having it.
Yes, it was originally
full
planned
on.
for the 2nd.
Yeah,
but
and so now they're having it here.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I would love to folks to
Yeah.
come out and participate. That I was when we were talking with Don about it before. Where they were so close to I
Yes.
feel like before we leave the Earth, we're all about the same age.
Oh,
give or
yeah,
take.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
before we leave the Earth, I feel like we could see a
I hope
cure
they
for
have
that
a
cancer.
cure.
Yes,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope it's that's one of the scariest things to think about as you get older.
Well, it's
your kids are gonna have.
It's
to do
almost. I'm not going to say quite. It's almost worse for the family than it is for the actual patient.
No, that's what I was going to say.
I believe it is.
You just
It
don't
really,
know.
it's
you just
because
don't
you
know, but they
remember,
do.
Yeah.
and you know,
and
they don't.
And
I know from my own family experience that they're not the same, and they use a lot of profanity towards you. And
Yeah,
things,
and depending on
Very
how
aggressive.
things are. There's different types of it, and then you literally have your grandma that wouldn't have hurt a fly.
Yes.
And next
Right.
thing you know, they're to a point where they're saying wow.
Yes.
Sailors are offended by her talk.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And
That's what this disease does.
So the
but that's
family's
not to
dealing with
everybody.
Well, I had my
It's
aunt
different
trying
to
to hit my
everybody.
mom, and they're both in their 70s.
Yeah.
And my aunt is the one that is going through it
Yeah.
right now, and my mom and dad were the caregivers.
Yeah.
And it's just,
Yeah.
it's very.
But I would
rough.
imagine too. It's,
Yeah.
Just taxing.
because you put yourself in that position.
Yeah.
And I would imagine if you just the things you know is standard, all of a sudden your brain's not there anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand.
Sure.
You don't know what to do.
You don't know what
eat
to
your
do.
fist
Freeze
in the
up.
air
Yep.
because and that's it's a human
But you-
reaction.
Yes.
But part of it too is it's just that, and you're right.
Yeah.
It's and unfortunately, there's no two commonality. I mean, there's similarities,
Exactly.
but every experience is way different, and some may not have some of those things. Others may have that to the extreme.
Yes.
Yes.
It just varies. But I will tell you this. When we were young, you got Alzheimer's within a year or so. You know what I mean. You
Yes.
really didn't hear from that person. It was
Right.
kind of like you got that sentence.
Yes.
And
The next time you heard, it was usually an obituary or something like
now
that.
people are living 20 plus years,
Yeah.
relatively good lives.
Yes.
Before they're seeing these
Yes.
things, and it's all because of Alzheimer's walks,
More
and the
medications,
advances,
things
and
like that.
the fundraising,
Yeah.
and so they are so close to a point where they can say, not only can we delay these, but we can reverse it now.
Yes.
And once that happens, then Alzheimer's hopefully becomes like polio. And we're like, oh, what?
Exactly.
You know what it is. I know one guy that had that. My grandma's kid had it or
Yes.
something. Yeah.
I have a lot of faith in God, and I believe that. But I will also tell you what's getting me a lot of hope is watching the technology and to watch Elon Musk send up a rocket.
Yeah.
And then bring it down and catch it.
That is cool.
It is
you only have to be a nerd to see how cool that is.
Yeah. But to catch that thing, and to do that, it's something that is falling from the sky.
Sure.
And has nobody in it, nothing. And to catch that thing, the technology of today is unbelievable.
Star Trek's going to be happening.
It's going to be
sooner than we think it will.
And I believe,
I don't know if we're going to see it, but somebody's going to see it soon.
But I believe with that type of technology, the medical side of things is going to become unbelievable. You're going to see lots of things happening,
I want that thing in Star Trek where they just wave it over. I'm like, oh, you got cancer. Then they wave something else. Now you don't.
Yeah.
That's what
I'd like that flashy thing that makes you forget about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the Men in Black thing. Yeah.
I want the one that says, take me over there.
Oh, yeah, the beam and the wolf thing would be pretty handy, too. I mean,
but no, that's...
beam me to McDonald's. That one at McDonald's is so busy. They'd be make it a little wider.
People just
if I'm at McDonald's too long, it's going to have to get really wide. That's
you have to get an industrial one. They get to move some heavy stuff.
Yeah, but we are just working hard, and we thank you, and we thank the people who we can come to and get information out, because without you, everybody's listening to the radio. They're listening to the things going on. Everybody's watching the news, trying to see what's happening around them. And you have to have people on the ground giving that live information.
Absolutely. That's what I was trying to tell you. I was like, everyone was thanking me. I was like, you guys were the guys on the ground doing this. But you guys were in the muck. I was just trying to share the message, tell people, if you don't need to be there, stay away from this. And if you got in this, help is on the way.
Yeah, and that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And for us, it is 100 miles an hour, 100% of
7 days a week.
Yep, given every single day, and we do it every day.
Yep.
And it's not because this is a job to us. This is something we truly care about.
Yeah.
We love doing it.
And this is why it's so awesome when you guys, when folks, the public, and I love when I hear, and I'm in a restaurant and there's some sheriffs or some RPD or some law enforcement sitting there.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the waitress comes over and is like, oh, your meal's been taken care of. I love that every time. And please keep, especially now if you've got the means to do that, because I can guarantee you every person wearing a badge right now in Southeast New Mexico has worked way many hours and are probably many of them are probably hitting some extremes in their own mental limits right now. A little worn out, a little bit. And those random acts of kindness, that free cup of coffee, that thing, you don't understand. I imagine there'll be a few deputies that they're having just a crap day.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, someone bought them a burger or something, and you're like, you know what? And then you're recharged. So thank you to all the folks that do that on a daily basis. Hey, Domino's Pizza, I'm telling you right now, they are awesome people. When I did the ride along, I literally walked in there with the deputies, and nobody paid a dime for nothing. And they were just like, no. And a couple tried, and they're like, no, we're not taking your money. Go sit down and eat your pizza.
I'll tell you.
Very good.
Golden Corral. Golden Corral, same way.
They're awesome. I love it. Thank you to those our community business partners that just do things like that, because they're just good.
They're really good. And
absolutely.
They and what we like is when we can go into a place, you can sit down and you can feel comfortable being in there and actually want it. We were going through a time.
I hope you guys feel that everywhere you go here. Well, I really because
here in our state, not our state,
in our southeastern
your corner of the globe here.
Yes, we do feel that way. We are very much appreciated, and we do appreciate the people as well, and we show that by doing more than just going out and enforcing the law.
And I think that's you're seeing also the fruits of y'all's labor. That's really making that effort to say, in a world where it's sexy to hate cops, we're going to make that. We're going to go buck against that grain.
And the reality is, if you want to know whether somebody really loves their job, don't watch what they do before an election or before a promotion. Everybody starts getting their P's and Q's together when it comes time for promotion. What I'm looking for is the person that does that all the time.
Absolutely.
And
that's right. And
since we've started, we've been nonstop 100 miles an hour.
And that's just something, and you guys, this is why I want to toot the horn for you guys, because I know this is something that's legit. What we're doing and what we're seeing right now, and the yucking up.
I just love people.
People. This isn't a front or an act. This is what you guys do every day. You just come out and talk to people like people, and people understand and respect. And that's how you have to be.
We're Charles and Mike.
When you're enforcing the law, you have to work with the people to not be, because anyway, because at the end of the day,
it takes a partnership.
If a cop has to be tyrannical, then a cop has to be tyrannical, because that's at the end of the day. But that's the last tool in the tool belt. That's when all else fails. They don't want to be there, and so that's where
so much easier and so much better on the body.
Yeah, when life and death comes down, then that's when that comes. But 9 times that's not the first.
There's a time for it.
But there's and so you guys understand all that, and that's what I. A homeless man or someone that's causing a problem. I've seen it 100 times. Either one of you just walk up, hey, buddy, how's it going?
Not everybody needs to go to jail.
And by a situation where people are afraid, by the end of it, everyone's back to normal and everything, and not a shot was fired, not one was arrested, no one's even mad.
Treat people like
everybody's good.
And the reason is because we deal with the same people over and over. So whenever you're dealing with them, if you treat them like crap, every time's going to be crap.
This is life lesson.
But if you go in there, but if you go in there and you're dealing with them over and over, and you start to understand more about what they're about, why they're doing what they do, They also know that this is something you have to do.
Sure.
This isn't
It's
personal.
not personal. It's a job.
It's just a job.
I've been tasked with making sure the peace is kept here. Right now, you're disturbing it.
And it's
I
so
have
much
to rectify
easier
that.
if you have a working relationship
My
with
next
them,
question
if
is
you have
to
to do
you,
that.
what can we do to help you get out of that
Exactly.
situation? Because we will.
Yeah,
We'll help
because
you.
you know every perpetrator probably is a victim in some other. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And so
We're not robots.
Exactly. Everything's great.
That's
People
right.
do things illegally, not because they wanted to necessarily.
Right.
It could be out of desperation or for lack of choices.
That's
and
right.
so that's where you guys come in. And all right, let's
Figure out what's
weigh
going on.
the severity of what's going on
We
here.
get
What was the end
calls
game? What was the intent?
Probably every day, if not every other day. Can you stop by and talk to my son or my daughter? They're acting this way or acting that way. They're not. And so,
Put your counselor hat on.
but it's
Put-
not to scare them.
Yeah.
It's to talk to them.
No.
And that's the best thing about it.
Yeah. When you get
and that's
there,
how
they're
you
like,
want
hey,
it.
Yeah.
everybody.
You want
Yeah, you know them.
And this is why you guys are doing the stuff in the classrooms with the kids and the coloring and everything, because at the end of the day, they want, when you see a human being in a Chaves County Sheriff's uniform, they want to know if that's a person I can trust, I can rely, I could go up to and just, if
Whatever
just talk
needs.
to if I need about nothing or anything.
Some
you
people
know?
think it's hard to believe, but we love people.
Yeah, you go up and say,
we just love people.
I mean, half the time you go up and say, hey, how's it going? And you just talk about nonsense, just day to day. How's the weather? How's
We
your
all
job
go
day
through that.
going?
Oh, I wish, that Last Man on Earth show.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, that'd be neat. Yeah, it'd be neat for about a half a day.
Yeah.
You know, and then-
So you watch all the movies and take care of all the free crap you want, and then you're kind of, now what?
I wouldn't survive in that environment.
Exactly.
I need to have people
Interaction.
around. I need to have interaction. I need to see.
Yeah. Well, and eventually you're going to lose power and things like that because no one running this stuff, so you're going to have to figure out how to live.
But and here's when you talk about, it's not about power per se.
Yeah.
It's about relationships.
Yes.
And I would much rather, if I'm getting, somebody's getting the better end of me on the side of the road that I'm dealing with, I would much rather have people that were willing to stop and help us.
Absolutely.
Than say, oh, it's about time.
And that's, you know what, you're absolutely right, because when those
about.
hairy situations happen where you're chasing down or something, and you know.
When people call, I put them in my phone, and then when they call again, I call them by name, and they say, how?
I've seen enough of those videos where
because
literally
we're friends.
an officer's wrestling with a perp and is kind of getting the upper hands on happening, and
here comes the people.
So here comes some guy. Oh,
So-
wait, here's the tag team buddy rolls into and don't always do that if you're not humanly capable. We're not asking you to do that, but as a police officer, they're very thankful when you guys do decide to or able to help out in those ways. But don't put your life in risk for
One last thing that I want to say is during the flood when it took out 285, the bridge there, the traffic and the craziness going on State Road 2 going between Dexter
that road is not
Hagerman
equipped to handle the traffic 285 does.
Right.
And
I want to say Dexter, Hagerman, and Lake Arthur, the chiefs of those agencies as well as their officers did a fantastic job.
Absolutely.
And they kind of were a little under the radar compared to, like, Roswell's getting all the spotlight on the flooding.
But I'm gonna
Dexter,
tell you,
Hagerman, Lake Arthur,
they also got flooded.
They got beat up pretty good.
But
yeah.
the crashes that occurred, it became like the Tatum Highway.
Mm-hmm.
People trying to pass, hitting cars head on, doing things down there. We sent guys down there to help out with traffic control, but I'm going to tell you, those agencies took the brunt of all that, and they really did a good job.
We do appreciate it. I just saw the time we're about to get kicked off. It's 9 o'clock.
Real
But
quick,
yes, real
before
quick.
we go, speaking of 285, if you're traveling between Roswell and Artesia or Artesia and Roswell, please respect the speed limits on that bridge, the Felice River Bridge, just north of Highway 13. It is one lane. We will be patrolling that area. I know state police is down patrolling that area.
Yeah.
Please be respectful. Get there safe rather than not get there at all.
And believe it or not, when you're in a hurry and you're trying to speed and whip around and stuff, you're actually making it slower and causing it more. So if you're in a hurry, just follow the patterns, and I guarantee you'll probably get through quicker.
That's right. And thank you for having us, and God bless.
Anytime. Thank you guys. Stay safe, and we'll see you here anytime. But we'll see you here in a couple weeks, if not sooner.
Yes.
So thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right, it's 9 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico News in Progress.
Our hearts do go out to you, and we will do everything we can to get you back in as soon as we can.
Ventura County Fire Chief Dustin Gardner. It is a job of great importance to the president, and under Donald Trump, it will go to a woman for the first time ever. Mr. Trump's campaign manager, Susie Wiles, will be the next White House chief of staff. And the presidential election turned some long-standing voting patterns on their head.
A South Texas region stretching from San Antonio to the Rio Grande Valley has long been a Democratic stronghold. However, in Tuesday's election, President-elect Trump flipped several counties along the border. In Starr County, voters backed a Republican presidential candidate for the first time in a century. Trump's victories in the Rio Grande Valley show how working-class voters nationwide are shifting toward Republicans. One voter who supported Trump says he thinks Democrats forgot about the middle class, saying everything is expensive and people are suffering. I'm Mike Hempen.
A 13-year-old boy who police say researched school shootings online is in custody for allegedly trying to enter a Kenosha, Wisconsin elementary school while armed. In the words of the Kenosha police chief, we narrowly missed a tragedy. Stocks are mixed on Wall Street. The Dow 271 points higher. The Nasdaq trading 26 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
This year, everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest fare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Michael Friedson reports the outcome, creating quite a buzz in Israel.
Middle Eastern pundits agree that despite the satisfaction Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu displayed at President-elect Trump's victory, just how the two men's agendas will merge or diverge remains to be seen. Those who accept the view that the Israeli leader will stay steadfast in his need to fight the Iranian-backed Hamas terrorists, regardless of the amount of time it takes, may find a less willing ally in President Trump version 2, who has asserted his intent to conclude the war as soon as possible. This might mean accepting compromises Netanyahu consistently rejected, but which will set the starting point for the state of the U.S.-Israel relationship this time around. I'm Michael Friedson, Town Hall News, Jerusalem.
And you can find news and analysis at themedialine.org, also at townhall.com. The outcome of the mayor's race in San Francisco is an example of a nationwide demand for leadership change in Democratic strongholds.
San Francisco's first black female mayor conceded the race for her seat to Levi Strauss heir Daniel Lurie after a brutal campaign over homelessness and public safety. The Associated Press has not yet declared a winner because tens of thousands of ballots have not yet been counted and added to the ranked choice voting calculations. London Breed has not been able to overcome deep voter discontent after 6 years in office. Lurie has promised to restore accountability and public service to City Hall. Political analyst Dan Schnoor says there's been a demand nationwide for change in leadership. I'm Bernie Bennett.
A Texas federal judge has struck down a Biden administration program that allowed the non-citizen spouses and stepchildren of U.S. citizens to apply for a green card without first having to leave the country. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The tablet said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3. There you go. I know, so you got a bevy of people out there, you know.
Tres inviernos.
Yeah, so Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
I got stopped by the sheriff. Now I got to appear. It's the whole thing.
Perp walking out there. Yeah. Happy Friday.
Yes.
We made it to Friday. Hope all of you are having a wonderful day so far. Quiet football Friday tonight.
Yep.
But we do have football action for you on Saturday.
Yes,
Playoff football. Your Goddard Rockets are a number 10 seed in the high school football playoffs here for 5A. They will take on the 7th seed Lovington Wildcats in Lovington tomorrow at 1 p.m. We'll start pregame about 12:40. You can hear the game on the radio right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. The Chris's will be calling the game for you. And then we did obtain the permissions to live stream the video as well. So we will have live streaming video and on-demand video of the ball game at ksvptv.com. in the Goddard Rocket football channel.
It's so weird how they they dole out rights for these football games. We had to do a pie eating contest. I mean, now in fairness, it was
like Festivus.
We did get to pick our pies. I thought that was kind of nice. I went with chicken pot.
Yeah,
personally.
Yeah,
I like a nice hearty pie. If I'm gonna be competing, I like a nice hearty pie.
Yeah.
And by the way, you're welcome. 24 pies your boy put down. And now we get the football game.
That's right.
You're welcome.
And he's got diabetes.
Well, that's why I went with chicken pot.
Yeah.
Because I want something that's hearty.
But it's still
also
carb heavy.
Very carb heavy. Yeah. Especially if you got one of them with the bottom crust.
Oh, yeah.
I was very mad the first time I learned that the KFC chicken pot pie is just a top crust.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's awesome. But they need a bottom crust.
Now, if we're getting in pot pie debates, as I've seasoned in life, I prefer the bottomless crust.
Really?
Because the current pot pie, like if you go buy a Marie Callender or whatever,
Swanson's
the
or
crust to innard ratio is not balanced. There is too much crust for the innards. There's not enough innards to make the crust not dry and bland. Therefore, you take away, or you know what I would do? Leave the bottom crust, take away the side. I don't need any of that mess on the side.
No. See, that's
ruins the pot pie.
It doesn't. It doesn't because
Just for
that's
me.
what you. When you eat a pot pie, you're supposed to implode that pie.
But
you start by cracking the middle.
I do that.
And you got those crispy bits at the side.
Yeah.
You work those in. Those are like the
But
croutons
there's
of the
not
pot
enough
pie.
goo inside to get those good and covered.
It depends on which pot pie we're talking about. If we're talking about a good Marie Callender's, the innards ratio on a Marie Callender's is pretty good. Now, I got to give you a tip. Are we going oven-baked pot pie?
I generally oven-bake my pot pies.
Okay, I'm going to give you a pro tip. It's quicker and it's better, okay?
Okay.
I want you to bake that pot pie or microwave that pot pie for about 2 minutes less than they say. So about 4 minutes, we'll say. Okay?
Yeah.
You have to get your innards cooked. Break out your air fryer.
Okay.
Toss that bad boy in there for 4 minutes and 390.
Okay.
And trust me.
Okay. I will give it a try.
Perfect innards, perfect outards. Is outards the right word? Because you always hear innards, but I've never heard anybody say outards.
Way I see it, if one has innards, there must be outers.
There's got to be outards, right?
It's the yin and yang.
But it feels dirtier to say outards.
Yeah, it does.
The outards are crunchy and crispy, and the innards are ooey and gooey.
Maybe it's kind of like
much like a human.
It's like the opposite of progress is Congress.
Yeah, boy, is it ever.
But anyway, I generally I like less of that and more of the. And by the way, turkey pot pie is my favorite of the pot pies.
Okay.
Over chicken and beef, turkey is my 1C.
If they used less white meat turkey, I would agree with you.
Yeah.
Because white meat turkey is generally one of the drier of the poultries. I prefer a nice, like I always go to the dark meat on the bird.
I just like the mouthfeel. Like the turkey has a different mouthfeel than the chicken, just slightly. And it just, in my head, it feels more right in a pot pie. Now, that's probably because of some sense memory of me having turkey pot pies as a baby.
It could be, but turkey is also more of like a, not sinewy is the wrong word, but like a shreddable meat.
Yes.
So it shreds better, I feel like. You know, if you like thinner sliced turkey, it always, chews better than a sliced chicken or a sliced ham. So I can understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. But anyway, but yeah, turkey's my one seed of the pot pies. I am not a fan of these, and I think Marie Callender does them more than any of them. These quote unquote pot pies that aren't really like pot pies, and it's like some kind of broccoli cheese pot pie, and I'm like, what kind of nonsense is this?
Sure. Okay. But now if you're going to come at Marie Callender's, you got to understand that what they're doing is not completely altering the pot pie experience. They're giving you an alternate pot pie experience.
Yeah.
They're alternating it.
And it's never as good as...
Now, hold on. Chicken and portobello mushroom. It is legit one of my favorite pot pies. You have to be in the mood for it because mushrooms can be kind of,
I could be down with that, but here's the thing. The gravy's different. And I like that pot pie turkey chicken gravy that they use. Not the beef, but the turkey and that they're similar. That whatever broth or whatever. That consistency, the gooey, the all of that. Library? Okay. Is it Caitlin? Rocio. Okay. All right. Very good.
See. So it's an innards ratio thing to you.
Yeah. To me,
I get that. Now, but I feel like for the most part, the gravy is there. And that's why I say don't oven bake it, because when you oven bake it, you're losing a little bit of that juice. If you blast it quick in the microwave and then hit it in the air fryer, I think you maintain some more of that gooiness.
I'll try that. I will try that. But that's been my biggest issue. Too much crust, not enough goo.
Not enough oomph.
And I like the crust when you put the goo on it, but there's never enough goo to get on the crust.
I was too late in life when I learned of a magical creation called the handheld chicken pot pie. And One Church's Chicken was the home of that pie.
Yeah.
And I learned of it only mere months before they closed their doors. I was so heartbroken.
I'm not sure. I saw them in Albertsons a while back, but I don't know if they still have them.
Like in the deli?
In the frozen food section.
Okay, so we're talking about like a Hot Pocket.
Yes, kind of.
That's different.
It's different, but it's not. This is what I'm telling you what they sold.
Okay.
They had these frozen, and what they're called is Australian meat pies. And I've had them when I was in Australia. That's why I was like, ooh, these are a 10. I like Australian. When I was in Australia, they had a roach coach.
Right.
With these meat pies, and I almost every day I was buying a meat pie. But anyway, they sold a frozen ones in the Albertsons, and they had a beef one, like a beef and potato one. They had a chicken one, which was very much like a chicken pot pie.
Okay.
And then there was a third one, which I don't remember. But it's exactly what you're talking about. That chicken one is literally like a chicken pot pie handheld. It's not a Hot Pocket because it's round like a pie.
Right.
But it's an Australian meat pie.
Okay.
And it's a chicken, and I think they're called boomerangs, the ones at Albertsons I saw, but I ain't seen them in a while, and I haven't looked in a while. So they may be there. But I remember, and the only place I ever seen them was the frozen food section at Albertsons.
I see. Well, I'll be hitting up the frozen food section very soon.
Yeah, and it may have been the one on the South Main. I'm not even sure if the one on the second. It was the one on the South Main. I don't recall.
Because I agree. And that's why when people say British cuisine is terrible, I'm like, you know what? That's a country that embraced the meat pie and has owned it. So I'd beg to differ. A good shepherd's pie, sure, while a bit bland, is really hearty.
Yeah.
So yeah, British cuisine, it's maybe not for everyone, but I'm a fan.
I like a lot of British cuisine. I'm not, when they start getting into their puddings and all that, I'm out. But fish and chips and bangers and mash, and all that, yeah, I'm down.
They're weirdly into Indian cuisine Also, like they really do like a good curry in Britain.
They did, kind of rule India.
I mean,
for a
yeah,
long
they
time, and a lot of the tea and Indian
we
cuisine.
take what we want.
But that makes sense. They have.
But yeah, the curry houses over there are popping up like crazy. So
yeah, I saw something online this morning. It was a picture, and it was basically a pot roast, but they built it in what they called a Yorkshire pudding bowl, and it looked like a bread bowl.
Okay.
And I ain't gonna lie, that picture I'd have tore up. I don't know what that pudding thing bowl tastes like. But it looked tasty.
It's confusing to me when they call cake.
Yeah.
What we'd call cake, they call pudding.
Yeah.
That's a little confusing to me.
It was a Yorkshire pudding bowl.
That being said,
with a pot roast in it and savory meats and veggies and stuff. It looked good. In a brown
I
gravy.
fully embrace the pudding world and absolutely recommend if you can ever get your hands on it, you really should try Spotted Dick.
Yeah,
it's really tasty.
I'd have to be prepared fresh, and I don't want to see it come out the can. I don't want to see any of that.
Oh, but that's the best part. You get the floop.
I don't want. I have to see it in its presentated form before you know what I mean. I don't want to. I don't want to know how that sausage is made. Just say here it is in its party dress. Give it a try.
Maybe this is because I wasn't subjected to foods coming out of packages and canisters over the course of a military career, but I really am a fan of just canned, like flop out food. Like,
well, that's why you like the cranberry.
Exactly.
So
Tis the season.
Yeah.
I love that. I love just a flop out can of cranberry sauce.
Real cranberries. He's poo-pooing on. You give him that big can of gelatinous stuff, and he's down with it.
Pro tip: if you can't get your cranberries out of the can, put a knife into the bottom of it and pop right out. Hakatua right on that thing.
Oh man, but I get that in some things. Like certain things, I like the ghetto version of better than the real version. Sometimes, like to be honest, mac and cheese, I'll eat and like your homemade mac and cheese.
Sure,
it is never better to me in my head than the Kraft mac.
Blue box cheese. Yep. You mix it with the right amount of milk and the right amount of butter. You got yourself a treat.
I love your homemade mac, and I'll eat them, but I don't have cravings for Kraft mac. Those like I do for Kraft mac and cheese. Every once in a while, like I want the box of Kraft mac and cheese. That's the biggest one. Like people, and they're way better and they're fresher and tastier. But something about that box of Blue is it's a comfort.
Yours has a cracker crunch on top. I don't care.
It's no different than the Campbell's tomato soup and the grilled cheese sandwich. That's the same
childhood,
same feelings, same deal. So, all right, we do have the folks in the library going to join us here and give us an update what's going on there. Before we do that, though, let's take a gander at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Low pressure is on its way off to the north and east. We still might get a few showers before noon today, and then we should see some sunshine coming back. Afternoon highs will be in the upper 50s to about 60. Overnight looks clear and chilly. Our lows dropping into the low 30s, and then pretty nice for the weekend, right around 70 and sunny on Saturday. Mid-70s and sunshine for Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 44 degrees here in Roswell. Double sails boats, as the old news director used to say whenever that popped up. Humidity is at 79%. Winds currently out of the northwest at 8 miles per hour. Tonight, there is a freeze warning because it will be below freezing tonight. So that will kick in at 11 o'clock tonight, and that will remain in effect through 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. We are looking at a 40% chance, although I think that's really diminishing, of rain chances till about 11. Although where I'm looking at, I'm seeing blue skies and some white poofy clouds. So methinks we're done with rain here. But they saying there could still see a few showers here this morning. Gradually, mostly cloudy, but gradually that'll burn off and the sun will come out. It's already starting to do it here. Expect a high of 53 today with northwest winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, skies will be mostly clear with an overnight low of 30 degrees, west winds at around 5 miles per hour. That 30, that's the reason for the freeze warning tonight. Tomorrow actually turning out to be a pretty nice day. Sunny skies and 64. Probably going to be a little cool to start the Veterans Parade, so bundle up there. But 64 for the day. Winds will be out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear skies with an overnight low of 35 degrees. North winds at around 5 miles per hour. And then looking at Sunday, sunny skies, 68 for a high. And then Monday, Veterans Day, we're looking at sunny skies and near 70, 69 officially there. So, all right, it is 21 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we'll talk with the folks from the Roswell Public Library on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Help benefit the Wounded Warrior Project with H.F. Sinclair, Saturday, November 9th at the Veterans Mission 5K Fun Run, Walk, and Ride. This 5K Fun Run will begin and end at Beige Veterans Park in Artesia, and the course will take you around Eagle Draw, Walk or Run. Kids 6 and under can join on their bikes. Pre-registration is $25 for adults and teens, kids $10, and your 4-legged companion only $5, with all proceeds to benefit Wounded Warriors. For more information or to sign up, visit hfsnm.com/veterans-mission-5K.
Artesia General Hospital has welcomed cardiologist Luther Weathers to the team. Dr. Weathers is board certified with a subspecialty in cardiovascular diseases. He treats patients with genetic heart defects, heart rhythm disorders, heart failure, coronary artery disease, chronic high blood pressure, and other cardiovascular diseases. Call 575-736-8270 to schedule your visit with Dr. Weathers in Artesia, or visit artesiageneral.com/cardio appointment. Se habla español.
Are you ready to succeed? At ENMU Roswell, they cater to your educational needs. Their dedicated facilities and faculties provide you with an exceptional learning experience. From academic programs to behavioral sciences, business, health education, or technical education, ENMU Roswell offers a wide variety of certifications and degree programs designed to take your education and experience to the next level. Register now on campus or online at roswell.enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University Roswell. Success starts here.
Attention, Roswell and surrounding areas. Roswell Ford knows recovering from an unexpected natural disaster is stressful, and our hearts go out to everyone who experienced loss due to the flooding. The damage left behind is devastating, but we're already seeing what it means to be Roswell strong, and we acknowledge and appreciate the heroic efforts of local authorities, first responders, and National Guard rescue teams. We've already received and continue to receive special shipments of new Fords and quality pre-owned vehicles available for immediate delivery during our massive Super Tent sale. It's at our temporary location on West 2nd Street between Toyota and Allsup's. These new and pre-owned vehicles without flood damage are being offered to the public at unprecedented savings. We've instructed our staff to take any car in any condition. In fact, even if it doesn't run, we'll come get it and give you a generous allowance toward a new Ford or high-quality pre-owned vehicle. And we'll work with your insurance company to help you get what you deserve at Roswell Ford's temporary location on West 2nd Street between Toyota and Allsup's. Thank you.
Pressure Services, LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has immediate openings for experienced vacuum truck, kill truck, and hydrovac operators. Operators must hold a Class A CDL, at least 2 years of experience, and all positions require a clean driving record and must be able to pass a DOT drug and alcohol screening. Pressure Services offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please apply in person at 2702 North Freeman in Artesia, New Mexico. Equal opportunity employer.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Alaska is the only state name that can be typed on one row of keys. Go ahead and try typing the other 49 states. We'll wait. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 24 minutes after 9 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Public Library, Rosie Ortiz back with us.
Hello.
Good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm doing great. Thank you.
Good. Well, first off, good news. Everything's good and going at the library. I know it's been the last couple months between air conditionings and flooding.
Yeah.
I mean, just everything is just like the Noah's Ark of everything going on. Good news is everything is up and running and
in
good
good
at the
condition.
library.
We weren't affected at all.
Yeah.
Except for a few leaks here and there, but the books are still there. The programs are still there.
Yeah.
And
so
we're all good.
If you are, and of course, hopefully folks got to come out last weekend for the Dia de los Muertos celebration.
They did.
Sounds like you guys had another great turnout.
We did we had a really good turnout, over 200 people. So that's,
And I hope a lot of people, because you learned the real traditions of all that.
Yeah.
And you learned why they do what they do, why there's the sugar skulls, why La Llorona, which I probably butchered the name of that, but you know what I mean? That why all that is means something. And so I hope families got to go out and have fun, but learn a little bit about Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah, you get to see, we strive to show like the meaning of the altars and the ofrendas and all of that, and then we have some fun with it. You got to decorate some sugar skulls and some cookies in the shape of skulls. So,
but it also
a lot
gives
of fun.
the religious side too for families that want to honor their loved ones, and
we can,
they get to do that opportunity as well too. So that's the cool part. So if you missed out, good news is I got to think we're going to be on board for another one next year here around that same time.
An annual thing.
But
so,
I highly recommend you come out and be a part of that, and along with the other things we're about to tell you about here and all that too. But I'm telling you, there's something going on every week at the library. Daily activities to weekly activities to special events, almost monthly basis. There's one or two.
Yeah, we try to have a big event at least once a month.
Yeah. So I always invite you to either in the modern fashion or the old school fashion, pick up a library calendar. You can either grab one at the front desk and put it on your fridge, kind of like the family thing, or the digital version online.
I would say we're on social media, so you find just do a screenshot from Facebook.
But I know some people do like to get that calendar, put it on the fridge.
It's nice,
plot and plan, and usually it's a 2-month one. So usually
now we're doing 2 months.
I think it's probably November on one side, maybe December on the other side. There.
We've got the traditional calendar, and then we've got like the listed events. That are going to go on. They're going to a little bit more detail.
Yeah. And so I invite you, especially with, if you're looking for more curriculum, more fun / educational opportunities to get your children, especially, with COVID, with, people at homeschool. I mean, there's a lot. And so let's face it, there's been gaps in education stuff over the last couple of years. And,
definitely.
And the Roswell Public Library can be that resource to either fill in that gap or to enhance. Maybe you're like, hey, my kids are doing great in school, but I want more. I want them to get.
We're definitely an aid, both to homeschool and to regular public school kids that need help with the homework and stuff like that. So,
absolutely,
because we do have the makerspace now open. We just had a kid. He was doing a presentation on the skeletal system for one of the elementary schools, and he did, with.
Did he build a skeletal
He did
system?
his size, his size skeleton,
cool.
And they're gonna go. I think probably put the labels on all the bones and
that's
stuff
what
like that.
been about 2 months now. I think or has it been that long? Even I don't even sure.
It's been maybe about 2 months.
My time frame is very warped with flooding and everything. I'm like, is it a year or a month? I don't even know.
Feels like we just opened it, but it's I think late summer. Yeah, we opened.
Oh yeah, okay. I knew it's been it's summer. That sounds right. That was like around summertime.
Which is only. I know it doesn't feel like it with the weather, but it was only
a couple
2
months ago.
Yeah.
But that's so it's really cool for and I say for everyone a chance to make things, do things, and they have the resources and the equipment to train and to
so I'm going to really promote the makerspace right now because Christmas is coming up, and you got we've got a sewing machine there. You want to sew something for mom or dad or for yourself. We've got the Glow Forge. We've got the Cricut 3D printers. You want to make little figurines. When we
people
got it
could
there,
do anything from making Christmas gifts to start your plan for your own business. There's really the possibilities through this space are limitless.
Yes.
It is what you make of it type of thing.
Basically, we've got the tools there. Come in and take
the great
advantage
thing
of
is,
them.
We can have obviously age appropriate to handle equipment things, but kids to work
if
on.
They are under 18, they will need to have adults
permission,
with them.
supervision.
Whether it's a parent, a grandparent, an older sibling, they will need to have someone there.
Again, family time.
Exactly.
Maybe you're like, I want to teach my grandkids or my kids to sew, but maybe you don't have the equipment at the house.
Parents, when are you going to see it? We didn't grow up with 3D printers. You get to see that in action.
You can make almost anything you want to, and things that were either too expensive or just not possible to get.
Yeah.
You can literally make with a 3D printer.
Exactly.
And it costs pennies on the dollar to do it. And and it works and just as advertised.
Beautifully.
It's really,
we have
technology's
figurines there. It's awesome.
This is like that modern a real version of Star Trek or something where they just where it's kind of like computer Earl Grey hot and they make a cup of coffee appears.
Yeah.
This is kind of like
it is
the start of that, It kind of is, in a weird way.
Yeah, make me a little chess piece.
Yeah, that's what a 3D printer is kind of like.
Chess piece, exactly. Yeah.
And if we ever get there and they look in if the History Channel shows some documentary on it, they're going to be pointing at 3D printers as the part of the evolution of that. I'm sure. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, but it really is cool. So if you're not familiar with it, and by the way, that is technology that was very much unattainable and still quite expensive in private sectors.
You're not going to have that at home.
But not most people, unless that's your thing.
Mhm.
But like you said, this gets you a chance to do that stuff. If you're in the library where you ain't spending thousands of dollars on a 3D printer or whatever.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you want the training on it and stuff, there are folks that can help you navigate that.
So you do need the training first before we
they
let
don't turn you loose on their high dollar equipment. It's kind of like the military. They just don't recruit kids and say, get in that expensive tank and have fun with it. They train them on how to do it first.
Yeah, but it's quick, it's short, easy peasy.
Yeah, it doesn't require a college degree to figure out how to work this thing. But literally, if you are a creative type or you have ideas or you just have things, you're like, I got to get it out.
Yeah.
The library can help you out with that, and especially, I could even see this as a cool thing. Like if you got like a 14, 15-year-old child, and maybe they've got an idea, maybe you as a parent can kind of work with them together through this equipment to kind of put their idea to fruition.
Yeah, we had a little girl. She was probably like 11. She was sewing her first apron there because she was interested in sewing. So, I mean, it's a great way to start up new hobbies, new interests.
Find interests. Find kids. With kids to find what their place in the world, I always think, it's kind of the dartboard effect, just or throw as much as the wall.
You never
and
know
see
what's
what
going to
sticks.
hit. Yeah,
and see what stick. It just kind of, what they're passionate, and that's where the library can help. Whether it's this maker space or the whole building full of books on various subjects and things, to the computers and everything else.
Next, on the second Saturday, which is tomorrow, we do have our cooking class.
Excellent.
So tomorrow we'll be doing tomato sauce. So come on down. So you never know, you might enjoy cooking. That's another hobby, another
get your inner Italian grandma tomato sauce.
Good, just in time for the cold weather.
That's right, exactly. So you don't have to buy the ragu. You can make it homemade.
Exactly.
It's way better homemade.
It is.
No offense to the ragu people, but it's way better.
No,
homemade.
it is. And not as hard or intense, time intense as you think.
That's it. People don't realize that sometimes making from scratch is not that hard if you just want. And like you said, tomato sauce. At the end of the day, it's really boiling down tomatoes and just adding the right seasoning and doing the right combination of things.
Exactly.
And of course, that's where you get 100 different things because all the grandmas out there. Oh, the secret's this spice, or the secret's this spice. Or,
one grandma's is a little sweeter and the other one's is a little spicier. Yeah,
exactly. But as soon as you learn the base, then you can tweak it to your own family recipes and things like that. But what you get, and especially in a world where everything's going, computers or something else does it for you, it is never a bad idea to have your children learn the basics, how the sausage is made. A child that is independent, that can fix their own things sometimes or can create their own things. They're going to find out when they become adults, they're going to be probably pretty creative, imaginative people, but at the same time, self-reliant human beings can go a long way.
It's gonna exercise a different part of the brain because all of a sudden connections are being made into something else.
And really, at the end of the day, as parents, your main goal is to get these children to be prepared to live the world on their own and to succeed and strive. And the more skill sets you put in them that they truly, don't force them on things they're not into, but you got to expose them to it to see if that's truly something they like.
Absolutely, yeah.
And folks, it may not be the things you like either. That's something too. I know parents, and I get it. Well, I'm of this, and my boy or my girl's going to do this, and that'd be great sometimes, but don't force it if it's not their thing. Instead, embrace what they are doing. And I guarantee you're going to find better results, and you're going to find a better.
Yeah.
Like your
you don't
child
know where
will
their
embrace
talents lie.
Your child will embrace it, and you're working in concert with them instead of bumping heads with them.
Exactly.
And that's really what. And so I think the library can help out with a lot of that.
Yeah,
finding the niche, finding.
We have all these programs, but we have tons of books. We don't have books on woodwork. We don't have shops or programs on woodworking, but we have books on it.
Sure.
For kids and adults.
Yeah.
And
So
like
whatever
that.
your level is. That we can train you appropriately or help you get the resources to do that. And we're just scratching the surface of resources. I always talk, and I always try to do a plug. If you go to the city's website, roswell-nm.gov, there is a library tab. There is a direct link, but it's a lot of dashes and dots.
It's a lot of numbers.
So
and stuff.
I just go to the city website, click on the Roswell Public Library tab, and now with your library card in good standing, which is free to go if you don't have one, you have a whole world of other options available to you. Anything from saying, hey, we're going to go on a road trip this weekend. Maybe I can download some music or some audiobooks for the travel. We got you covered. Or, you know what? I got a high school or a college-age kid that could use some tutoring. There's some links through the website that can help them do that.
We have homework help on the site.
You need
databases. Go to databases once you're in the library section of databases, and you can pull articles that'll help with research papers. Really good.
I think there's even like movies and like there's links to find that kind of stuff too. Free movies and free stuff like that. Magazines, periodicals.
Yeah, we have
all of that free of charge. And technically, you don't have to set foot in the library to access those things.
No,
you can all do it from your home. I don't recommend that. Go to the library once in a while, but if you're like, hey, we're going on a road trip, I need to download an audiobook or something, you don't have to go to the library to do that. You can literally get on your phone or get on there, boop, boop, boop,
it's the Libby app, folks. I live and breathe by it.
Absolutely. It really does make a difference. Something else I know we're kind of getting out of, although we're getting into the holiday season, so people will be traveling here.
Yeah.
The Roswell Public Library, thanks to the New Mexico Department of Tourism, keeps these passes. And they've got plenty to go around, but they are first come, first serve.
Absolutely.
And there's about 15, 20 different locations around the state that will get up to 6 people into for free.
Up to 5 or 6.
5
I
or
can't
6.
remember the exact number, but it's a family. It's a good family size,
And there's locations all over the state. I know Lincoln is one of them here locally. I know a couple of the museums, the art museums, and I feel like the Nuclear Museum, I feel like that's on there too.
Probably.
But I could be wrong.
I know the one I remember is the Space Museum in Alamogordo,
that's
which is
on
like
there.
2.5 hours. I think there's a few like up in Santa Fe
and
and
Cruces,
Albuquerque.
there's one or two, like the Museum of the Horse or something.
Something like that, yeah.
But anyway, it's all
over New Mexico.
And I can tell you this, like I know for like Lincoln, if you go to Lincoln, you take 5 people in there, it's going to cost you about $100 to get 5 people in through there.
Because it's probably like, what, $20 a pop?
Yeah, something like $15-20 a person. And so now that's free. And I don't know about you, but that's an extra $100 to buy lunch or souvenirs or pay bills. Whatever.
Or, a little extra on the tank to take you to another city.
So if you are planning, like maybe with the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, you're going to see family up in a different part of the state.
Yeah.
And you're looking for, because you know how it is, relatives all together. At some point, you're all staring at each other going, what do we want to do? And maybe you can utilize this and get some folks and see the state for free.
Those history museums are really interesting. Like people don't think about, they think,
but it's very
really
broad because it's natural history. There's several different, there's art like, paintings and art, and then history like human history stuff too. It really is a little something for everybody.
Because Lincoln, you've got it's the Billy the Kid
Sure,
history
so it's all
museum,
Western cowboys.
Yeah, it's all that fun stuff. So
Lincoln County War. So there's various subjects from various things. But if you love art and that, you get them stuff for free.
Yeah.
See, paintings from various famous artists.
And then we've got the great art museum here. That's
unfortunately,
it got some damage.
It's going to be a while before it's back in commission here.
But then you've got Santa Fe that has a lot of great art museums too. So
and then
take
some
advantage.
of those are on that. And when you get to the library, you can see the pass and it'll tell you all the different locations.
Yeah, just come up to the circulation desk and say you want the state pass, I believe.
Yeah. And here's the rub. It's only good for 1 week, so 7 days you get it, and you cannot renew it. And it's first come. So basically, if you've got a trip planned. If you're going to leave out on a Saturday morning, you might want to go in Friday afternoon, see if it's available. More than likely to be available. It's first come, first serve, but they have quite a few.
Plenty.
And rarely do all of them be gone at one time.
Yeah,
that would be, actually, people be like, what's going on? Why are all the things checked out?
even in the summer when that's the most movement.
When people are more driving.
Yeah, we still had plenty.
But I always like to remind people, so if you got maybe a holiday trip planned or maybe you got one next summer. I'm just saying, if you got one of those trips planned, don't forget, swing on by the library. You might be able to get some extra free fun out of your trip.
A good day trip.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And especially if you're going to go there anyway. You're going to go, it's like, we're going to go to Lincoln anyway. Well, why would you pay full price if you don't have to?
Exactly.
If you do,
exactly.
And if you do, I'm going to sell you some other things. Give me a call. I got some other things to say. I got $1 million TV that you'll love.
Has all the channels.
That's right. But anyway, I know I'm kind of talking about that. Let's give you a chance to kind of talk about some of the things that are coming up on the calendar here the next couple weeks.
So again, tomorrow we've got it's a try the cart. You can make some tomato sauce.
Yeah.
Every first and third Saturday of the month, we've got STEAM.
Yes.
So a lot of fun experiments.
Which is STEM with arts added.
Exactly.
That's where the A part.
That's what it is.
Science, technology, engineering, math, and arts.
I believe for November we don't have a big event just because we've got Thanksgiving and things
a lot
like
of family
that.
time.
But then we've got December, which we've got the fun Yuletide Festival coming up.
Excellent.
And that'll be the 21st of December.
Put you in the holiday spirit?
Yes. We've got the Grinch. So the Grinch will be making its appearance.
Good.
We'll have, food, fun, a free book giveaway that comes with that.
Yeah.
And then immediately after that, like a week later or about 2 weeks, we've got the New Year's Festival for the kiddos. They might not be able to stay up late to celebrate.
I would say it's for the kiddos, but also for those adults that don't want to be up by midnight either.
Yeah.
They're like, I want to celebrate New Year's at like noon.
Yeah, exactly. So if you still have the countdown, you don't want to stay up too much, you can just go on in there. We'll party it up. We have, kid-friendly music.
Absolutely, yeah.
Activities.
No champagne, but all the other fun
but we'll have,
holiday traditions. Yeah.
Maybe like some
Sparkling,
Sprite to make it look
some
busy.
grape juice or Sprite or sparkling grape juice or
yeah,
something.
Something like that.
Something to make it feel, party, festive.
Exactly.
But come and like I said, it's kids, but bring, adults, everybody. Come bring in the new year with the family out there.
And then for the Yuletide Festival, for the teens and families, if they want to compete as a family, we're going to have cupcake wars.
Okay.
So, it'll be, we'll provide
like a bake-off kind of thing?
Kind of. Well, we'll provide the cupcakes.
Okay. Or decorate off, maybe.
Yeah, decorate
there
off.
Is more.
So they'll have 3 cupcakes to decorate. One will be holiday themed.
Okay.
One will be themed for a book. So choose your book.
Okay.
And then the other one is Grinch.
Okay.
Grinch themed. And so maybe, if it's a family, a couple of you can concentrate on one, and we'll provide, the piping bags, the tips, and then the buttercream and all that fun stuff. And it's up to you guys to get your creative side.
Yeah. So really, first things first, you need to scout out your favorite book, whatever you want. Because I imagine you go grab a couple books, read them, and the one that's your favorite, maybe themed you're at that cupcake towards that book.
Yeah. So,
or maybe if, like you said, if you already have your favorite, whatever those classics, especially for kids. If you any Dr. Seuss or even your like A Wrinkle of Time or some of those some of those classic.
I always think of like Hunger Games, make
Hunger
a bow and
Games,
arrow,
I got a little longer hair, so or a little grayer hair, so my references are a little older. But even like or just like even classic, your science fiction, kind of those. Well, Wrinkle in Time is definitely it's a fantasy, that kind of same thing. But but maybe you're a Hobbit fan, or maybe the Lord of the Rings or Star Wars. there's
Star Wars, Star
books
Trek,
and stuff. They got those books there. They theme a few. Now, don't do the movie. Do the books. That's the rule.
But
But absolutely, yeah. Or maybe you're. Maybe you go old school classic, Treasure Island or Peter Pan.
Little Women.
Little Women, something classic that, but that's the beauty of this. It's wherever you want to take it.
Yeah, so we've got themes and whatever you guys want to
Harry Potter.
apply to. Exactly, Big old lightning bolt there.
I don't know how many generations of kids are probably avid readers now thanks to Harry Potter.
Exactly,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And adults, too. That was one of those books.
You grew up with it,
That to me, and I don't think people, like for folks that lived before Harry Potter, you don't realize that impact that really had in the reading, I mean, the movies and the whole platform. Yes, it blew up, but there was generations of kids that were specifically wanting to read now because a Harry Potter book came out, and that's a good thing.
It was, yeah.
And to be honest, it inspired adults because I know more grown people that were reading Harry Potter than kids almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's a good thing too because adults, life gets busy and even if you love reading, sometimes life takes you away from that. And if we need things to remind us to, sit down and read a book or whatever.
Yeah, I loved it. I still love them.
So I love it. So whatever your favorite thing is that got you there, put it on your cupcake.
Exactly. So we will have signups for that soon, but just putting it out there, it's a fun
Get your calendar. That way you can kind of make plans to attend and plot and plan accordingly because I'm sure everyone's holiday schedules will get a little busy right around that time with traveling or whatever they've got going on with their own families.
It is the 21st, so it is, just before the holiday craziness really takes, with the going out,
but here's
traveling,
the beauty
things
part
like
too
that.
is maybe you've got family in town and you're looking to, let off some get the family entertained and occupied for a little bit. Bring all the kids down and come have some fun. And that's it. Everything at the library is pretty much free.
Yeah.
very few times is there a charging event. But,
Yeah.
but
An event, I don't think we'll ever charge. I
Yeah.
think the only thing that you might have to is if you go to the makerspace, whatever you're using.
materials or some of that cost of doing business there a little bit. But yeah, anytime there's these kind of events, of course, we and another organization I'd like to put on your radar is the Friends of the Roswell Public Library.
Yes.
They do help out on events like this with goodies and summer reading
Donations.
programs. So if you're looking for a place to get involved in the community, I invite you to go check out the Friends. They run a bookstore
Called
just a couple
Books
blocks.
Again,
Yeah,
yeah.
over Books Again.
And I mean, you are getting hardcover books for like $1.
Yeah. And so what happens, people donate books. Occasionally there's some books that either the library just has too many of or whatever,
Yeah.
or it's not really maybe to
Or
be
we're updating you know.
So some of those books end up over there. But anyway, you get to buy books deeply discounted, and all the proceeds go back to programs at the library.
Exactly.
Things like summer reading program, some of these
Huge there, yeah.
talks and things when you go to them, and there's like a guest lecture, an author lecture, and you got some goodies out there.
all
usually.
all our food goodies come from donations from Friends of the Library.
So if you're looking for a place to get involved, the Friends, and by the way, they have a lot of fun because they get donations of books and stuff, and so half of it's going through books and seeing, and you'd be amazed at what people leave in books and what they find in books,
Yeah.
like everything from money to things not so fun. But
Yeah.
I mean, just
A
pictures,
lot of
photo, bookmarks. Yeah, so many receipts. It's like,
Yeah.
man, cost of meat in 2002 was pretty cheap. But you know, but they're always looking for a few volunteers to be a part of the Friends Library. And by the way, Christmas, they usually do a special deal at Christmas, where they get donations of like brand new stuff, books, coffee table books. They usually kind of put those aside, and then they'll make them available during the holidays.
I love
for buying.
That's a good present. A coffee table book is one of the best presents.
Well,
to
they're
give.
crazy expensive. You buy them brand new.
They're like
you're gonna
40,
get
60
Yeah, you're
bucks
gonna get them at Books Again
minimum.
for pennies on the dollar.
Mhm.
But yeah, you could drop $100
Oh,
for,
yeah.
for a coffee table book easy, depending on the popularity and
The
thickness.
subject.
and the
Yeah,
subject.
yeah.
Yeah, and usually the broader the subject, the more expensive it is.
But
the more niche, the cheaper.
Yeah, all those art books. I mean,
Yeah,
nice.
but like even if
Train
you have like
books.
waterfalls or like the things
Yeah.
they put on coffee tables to
Trains.
Yeah, just beautiful imagery
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
gorgeous, gorgeous stuff.
So, but anyway, that's where you'll find those at Books Again. But another way, if you want to support the library in a way, shape, go out there and shop for books.
Yep.
And volunteer there too. But that's what were these programs. But don't forget too, they have the weekly things for kids for like the preschool story times
time.
and things for English and Spanish.
Mhm.
And as I was talking before, I don't care what your kid speaks, bring them to both.
Yeah,
I don't care what their
and
first
it's
language is,
Preschool,
bring them to both.
so it's you don't have to be fluent. It's
Yeah.
stuff like
Well-
cow, vaca.
Well,
you know.
if your child has never been introduced to Spanish, and at that age, that's the best time. Take them to Spanish preschool story time, and let that osmosis rub off. And guess what? Next thing you know, they're going to start. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they'll pick up on a lot of stuff. Yeah.
As we get older, it's harder to put things in the noggin. But when they're, I don't know if it's soft and mushy or whatever, but it just absorbs. They're just better at learning and absorbing material at
That's
that time.
where they're learning everything.
And so
absorbing
things like
everything.
foreign language, if you're teaching them at 4 or 5 years old, multiple languages, that's when it's going to absorb and take in. And I don't care what you said.
Yeah.
If you're a human being that can speak multiple languages, you're going to serve. You've got a role served somewhere. You're going to eat just fine. You're going to live just fine because there's going to be need for your service.
Absolutely.
So you're
It's
equipping
an
your
extra
children.
skill set to have. Absolutely.
And not to mention, it's also good for that human side, building,
Yeah.
exposing your
Connections,
child
bridges.
to cultures and things that aren't what you normally go.
Mhm.
That's how you make well-rounded,
Yeah.
well-adjusted, well-understanding kids that actually can put themselves in other people's shoes and understand that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Empathy, all those things, believe it or not,
That make
start
a-
from
yeah.
doing stuff like this.
That make a great human being.
Yeah, this is the stuff. So please equip your kid. I don't care if they never speak Spanish. Take them to Spanish.
Yeah.
Let's do the thing. And vice versa. If the kid doesn't speak, take them to the English. Same thing. Let's give them all those tools. When they do
absolutely.
the deals with the dogs where the kids get to read to the dogs and
Yes.
practice that, please bring your kids to that. If they do like game nights with Legos or board games, please, they're all free events. They're all great opportunities to have fun with your family or opportunities for
Yeah.
your kid to
That's
learn.
what we try to emphasize is just we're trying to have family events, stuff for the kids, and it's like educate but entertain at the same time and bring the family together. The Sundays is when we have like the game boards and stuff like that. Thursdays, that's when we have our reading therapy with Zoe,
Yeah.
our reading therapy dog. So if you have a kid that's struggling to read, or you just want to have a kid that's reading to read 15 minutes to a dog.
And you get to roll on the floor with a dog. How
Yeah.
fun is that? And that's cool because these kids get to practice reading.
Yes.
But a dog isn't judgy.
No.
And so the kid doesn't feel the pressure to, if they mess up, no big deal.
They can take their time. They're
And
not.
they practice.
I mean, how many of us remember the fear of being called out in elementary school to read?
Well, and then you mess it up and you're worried that everyone's going to make fun of you or
Exactly.
whatever. And
So here they can take the time, sound out every word. So
get
yeah.
comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, there's, monitors around to help them if they're having
the
navigation
handlers
issues,
there. So yeah, definitely.
to help them read through it and
But
all
we
that.
have had several parents come back and tell us after, a month or two of the kids doing this that
They're
they've
seeing-
noticed the reading level's gone up and the reading comprehension.
This is the stuff this is how you do it. I mean, you get in this world and there's so many things. And at the end of the day, it's working with your kids,
Yeah.
sitting down and working through these things. And the library has so many resources to help you do that with your kids. And that's why I always tell you, take advantage of it. And all of it's free of charge. You get a library card. Anybody can get a library card. I think, I don't remember, what's the age limit, or is it? Is it parent discretion or?
Yes. So
Okay.
I believe they need parents' permission if they're
Okay.
underage.
Okay.
But I mean, if a parent is cool with the 5-year-old having their own,
Gotcha.
They
So
can
there is
do
no,
it, yeah.
it's
No.
at your discretion as a parent, and I encourage you to make a big deal out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember as a kid, and this might be a boy thing, I don't know, but I remember as a kid, like I got my, like you get your wallet, your first wallet as a kid, and they put $1
Yeah.
in it or something. But you're always looking for, and so you make that moment where you give them their first
Yeah.
adult pocketbook or wallet or whatever,
I mean, it's
and
cool.
say, all right, we're gonna put you ain't get no credit cards and nothing because you got to get a job first, but
Yeah.
we're gonna put your library card in here. Now you got your first official document in there that you get to show out, and
Yeah.
maybe put in whatever other cool cards
Yeah.
and things they. But
for girls, it's a little purse.
but
But yeah.
use this as that like rite of passage moment. Make them
Yeah.
feel like this is close to you being an adult. And kids love being treated like adults.
Yes,
sometimes.
they
That's
do.
something that so I think they're going to look at this as an opportunity of I'm passing into a next phase.
Yeah.
And they're going to and to me that sets the table for them to enjoy reading, to look at it as a fun thing,
Giving
not
them
something.
a little autonomy is a good thing. Yeah.
And especially when they start hitting that ages where they're hitting school and they're making them read books and read things for education to think, which is good.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's where you lose readers because now they're reading books that, quite frankly, may or may not interest them because that's part of the, not every boy is into Kill a Mockingbird. You know what I mean? It's just that the life it is. They're a very good book and highly recommend it, but that's not an interest subject for a lot of people.
No, yeah. So it's good to that's why I tell parents they're already reading all these books that they may not want to.
Sure.
I mean, as great as book as they are, they might not want to. So if they want to come to the library and just read manga, just read comics, let them.
That's exactly what,
Yeah.
and foster that and enhance that, encourage that, because that's so the moments where they're not really feeling like reading that school book because that's the project, but they don't hate reading because of it. They'll still be like, no, I want to pick up my series on whatever.
Yeah, they don't want to
where
read
they're
another
at.
novel because they're, where it's like, let them pick up, that Spider-Man, let them pick up.
And I guarantee you this, them reading them comic books on the regular and everything else, I guarantee you when they take their ACTs and SATs and all that, I bet those language scores are a lot higher.
Yeah.
Because people that read generally have broader vocabularies and broader and understanding of words and things like that. And regardless of what you're reading, that enhances that if you do it on the regular.
Because for SAT, it's all about reading comprehension.
Absolutely.
So as long as, and then, come on, those comic books, what bubble do you start with, so
well,
it
and
helps
then they
a lot.
understand words better because they may not know the meaning of the word, but in the context of the sentence, they're like, oh, it's got something to do with this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, and then hopefully if it triggers them, so maybe I'll Google what that is.
How many of us know what gamma rays are?
Exactly. But they put it, no, I don't think gamma rays will be on the ACT, but you know what I mean? It broadens that imagination. It broadens that. The thesaurus of things. It really does. Kids, that's a book that if you're looking for a word that is like the word, but you don't want to use the same word over and over time, that book gives you options and alternatives. I know we don't pull those off shelves anymore, but that was in the staple of everybody's office at some point there. But really, reading makes you a human thesaurus. That really does.
It does.
You get exposed to more words and things. So please get your kids involved. Get that calendar. Yes. Come out this weekend and make some tomato sauce. And then get on there for all the other stuff here too. And good deal. Is there anything we missed, Rose? Anything we wanted to cover?
I think we got
I get a lot of soapboxes, so.
Yeah, no, we've got, our preschool programs. We hit Zoe, our reading therapy dog. And then for adults, we have some stuff too. You know, we've got the garden club. We've got, I believe we have the
they meet
knitting
once
club.
a month. And
The chess club.
And
chess
those are
clubs
master
for all.
gardeners, too.
Yes.
They've forgotten more about gardening than you know.
Oh, yeah. They've talked about like weevils and, you know, how to take care of your garden from insects and things like that to protect your stuff. So, I mean, they know what they're talking about. This isn't like us, the librarians,
But the cool part is they know how to explain it to you so it doesn't sound over your head either.
Yeah.
Like, because when you get to that level, they get in the, pardon the pun, into the weeds with those science words and all that. And but they can explain it to you put this on there and it makes it do this, and you're like, oh, now I get that. You know, but they're like, no, you need the potassium to, you know, they get all that.
Yeah, and they, like I said, they know what they're talking about.
Yeah, but they can explain it. It's like, no, you put this, and it kind of makes this and tweaks
what
it.
happens if you had maybe a little too much or you know.
Those folks are amazing. I highly recommend you check out their monthly meetings, and the same with when 4-H does their stuff.
4-H is the second Wednesday of every month, and they have little crafts and stuff. So come on down, and they provide all the materials, guys. So
you just got to show up and be ready to.
I believe this month they're going to be working with electricity. I don't know what that is.
All right,
but you know, I'm interested to see what that means. So come on down.
Maybe just wear some rubber sole shoes just in
Maybe,
case.
yeah.
Very good. But as always, appreciate the visit. We see you next time.
Thank
and folks,
you.
get out to the library. There's so much going on. It's
come on down.
You could literally set your future and have a lot of fun by just making a trip into that building and utilizing all the resources and things that are available.
Exactly.
So, good deal. Thank you as always. Don't work too hard. And we'll see you next
try
time.
not to. All right.
Stay
dry.
Stay warm this morning and dry and cool when it gets hot later.
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right, 9:57. Let's take a quick break before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
Your window of opportunity is almost here. Open enrollment period is your chance to sign up for affordable health insurance through Be Well, New Mexico's health insurance marketplace. Get free help finding a quality, low-cost plan that covers medical appointments, urgent care, prescriptions, and more. You could even qualify for free coverage. Visit BeWellNM.com between November 1st and January 15th to find a plan that fits your life and your budget, and open a whole new world of possibilities.
Late in the Apostle Paul's life, he wrote the following: "I fought the good fight, I've finished the race, I've kept the faith. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord the righteous judge will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but to all who have longed for his appearing." That is the definition of dying well. Paul had not always been a follower of Christ, but once he changed his life from persecutor to that of a man who followed Jesus to being fully dedicated, he was all in. He knew that he was forgiven, and he knew that he had lived a life of service to his Lord. He wasn't perfect, but he knew that Jesus was, and that Christ's saving grace was more than enough. You too can have that same confidence to die well. You can never earn it, but Jesus wants you to have his free gift of forgiveness. He wants all of us to be with him in heaven.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
You have a life, places to go, things to do, people to see, but it's hard to enjoy life when you have pain. You don't have to live that way. Softwave Therapy from Premier Chiropractic in Roswell can help you. Softwave's cutting-edge technology is non-invasive and can help your body heal. This new technology uses therapeutic energy waves to activate the body's dormant stem cells to promote natural healing. Sessions are quick with short treatment times. Start healing today. Call Premier Chiropractic at 623-2900 or visit healthyroswell.com.
Playing dance music can help ward off mosquitoes. Now you have a reason to invite Pitbull to your next pool party. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is almost 10 o'clock. We got a few more minutes. That's going to do it for us. If you missed any part of the show, I invite you to check it out at your leisure. Log on to ksvptv.com. Click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. You'll find all of our interviews there. We replayed our interview with Don Weld talking about cranes and cocoa out of Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge on Saturday afternoon. Invite you out to that. We had Sheriff Mike Harrington and Charles Eastlis, Undersheriff, join us in the 8 o'clock hour talking, well, flooding and everything. We just talked Sheriff's Department for almost the whole hour. And then, of course, we just had Rosie Ortiz with the Roswell Public Library join us here a few minutes ago to talk about all their good stuff. That's going to do it for us. Have an amazing weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, Texas.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Starr.